Chapter 1997. In the residence of the demonic immortal island, Jiang Chen and De Huang Dog returned almost at the same time. Looking at the smile on each other's face, they already knew the result. Well done, De Huang. Jiang Chen gave a thumbs up to De Huang Dog. Of course. It's a piece of cake to kill those small fries. By the way, open the spatial zone of the 33rd floor for Master Dog to enter. Master Dog wants to advance. De Huang Dog said. All right. Upon hearing this, Jiang Chen's face was immediately filled with surprise. De Huang Dog's cultivation base had already reached the peak of the first-grade Great Sovereign Realm. Now that he was about to advance to the second-grade Great Sovereign Realm, Jiang Chen guessed that De Huang Dog's mental state had changed after settling the grudges of his previous life, allowing him to advance to the second-grade Great Sovereign Realm. This was a great thing. The stronger De Huang Dog's cultivation base was, the more help he would get. He couldn't wait for De Huang Dog to return to his peak state in his previous life. Unfortunately, it was impossible. Demon Sovereign Dragon's son was a peerless great sovereign in his previous life. It was undoubtedly very difficult for someone of his level to fully recover. Jiang Chen opened the spatial zone of the 33rd floor of the Zulong Tower and placed De Huang Dog inside. The experts of Mi Luo Immortal Court and Radiance Immortal Court were dead. Their corpses couldn't be found. But this didn't affect the celebration of the demonic immortal island. Everyone in the demonic immortal island was busy with the wedding of Xiao Wangqing and Tian Lingyu. The entire island was decorated with lanterns and streamers. No one had the time to pay attention to what was happening overseas. Therefore, the tragic death of the two experts of the immortal court didn't affect the demonic immortal island at all. 3 days later, the entire demonic immortal island was celebrating the wedding of Xiao Wangqing and Tian Lingyu. This wedding was very important to the demonic immortal island. Everyone in the demonic immortal island knew about the story of Xiao Wangqing and Tian Lingyu. Now that the two of them had finally come to fruition after experiencing countless hardships, how could they not feel gratified? As the saintess of the demonic immortal island, Tian Lingyu was now married to a human. Logically speaking, most of the people in the demonic immortal island should be against it. But when the person was Xiao Wangqing, no one in the entire demonic immortal island objected. Xiao Wangqing didn't give up for the saintess for 300 years and risked his life to challenge the myriad wind platform. In the hearts of the people of the demonic immortal island, Xiao Wangqing was the only one who was qualified to be the son-in-law of Heavenly Peng Demon Sovereign. Putting aside the previous rules of the demonic immortal island, Xiao Wangqing had long been recognized by the majority. On the high platform, the red-robed Xiao Wangqing's smile never faded. One had to admit that this fellow was indeed the most handsome man in the world. He was so handsome that he had no friends. Tian Lingyu was also peerlessly beautiful. The two of them could be said to be a perfect match in the truest sense of the word. It's finally come to fruition. It hasn't been easy for Senior Xiao. Jiang Chen said with incomparable relief. Jiang Chen was very happy to see Xiao Wangqing's life come to fruition. After becoming Tian Peng's son-in-law, Xiao Wangqing's future will be limitless. This guy's talent is not bad, but his cultivation base was delayed by the Tao of Wangqing. Otherwise, his cultivation base would at least be on the same level as Yang Junlong and Tian Peng Evil Emperor. Now that his wish has been fulfilled, Xiao Wangqing's future will be smoother and his cultivation base will certainly advance by leaps and bounds. De Huang Dog said. He was a very accurate judge of character. Currently, De Huang Dog's cultivation base had reached the peak of second-grade Great Sovereign Realm, only a step away from the third-grade Great Sovereign Realm. Perhaps, he would break through to the third-grade Great Sovereign Realm one day. De Huang Dog slept in the 33rd level for 3 days. It was a deep sleep, but the effect was extraordinary. 3 days in the outside world was equivalent to 90 days in the 33rd level. His cultivation base advanced by leaps and bounds, and his strength became even more terrifying. After the wedding, Xiao Wangqing pulled Jiang Chen and ran to a secluded hilltop. He held 2 jars of wine in his hand and sat side by side with Jiang Chen on a big green rock, drinking to his heart's content. Jiang Chen, my life has changed because of you. Let me propose a toast to you, said Xiao Wangqing with a smile. Xiao Wangqing said with a smile, his eyes filled with gratitude to Jiang Chen. Senior Xiao, don't say that. You've saved my life more than once. What I've done for you is nothing. Jiang Chen smiled. It was the most precious thing to have a few bosom friends in one's life. To Jiang Chen, it was a very fortunate thing to be able to be friends with Xiao Wangqing despite the difference in age. If it wasn't for your guidance, I might still be an old swindler who gave up on myself. I came to the demonic immortal island with the intention of dying, hoping to see the Saintess again. It's because of you that my life can be complete. I, Xiao Wangqing, will remember your kindness for the rest of my life. Xiao Wangqing said very seriously. Although his name was Wangqing, he was a man who valued friendship and righteousness. In his opinion, becoming a bosom friend with Jiang Chen was the luckiest thing that had happened to him in his life. The next day, Jiang Chen bade farewell to Tianping Evil Emperor and Xiao Wangqing, and left for Fengqi Immortal Domain with Yu Huafan and a Huang dog. In Feng Jingyang's palace in the Dragon Hall, Yu Huafan told Feng Jingyang everything that had happened in the demonic immortal island. Feng Jingyang was dumbfounded, especially when he heard that Jiang Chen and Tianping Evil Emperor were sworn brothers. The corner of his mouth couldn't help but twitch. Brat, you're amazing. Feng Jingyang really couldn't find any words to describe Jiang Chen. He could only give Jiang Chen a thumbs up and say awesome. His eyes were constantly sizing up Jiang Chen, and he found out that Jiang Chen's cultivation base had improved by a lot. He had already advanced to the peak of late immortal venerable realm from the intermediate immortal venerable realm. In just a few days, Feng Jingyang felt that his disciple was much more heaven-defying than he had imagined. It's all luck. Jiang Chen chuckled. How could such a thing be explained? Besides, it was mostly luck. If it wasn't for his great void technique and the fact that Tianping Evil Emperor had received guidance from Void Sovereign, everything wouldn't have gone so smoothly. Damn it! Why isn't my luck as good as yours? Yu Huafan rolled his eyes and said gloomily. He was the big senior brother of Dragon Hall and a famous figure in the immortal court. Why didn't he have such good luck? Maybe it's because senior brother isn't as handsome as me, or your character isn't as good as mine. Jiang Chen said in a serious tone. Get lost. Yu Huafan almost spurted out a mouthful of blood on Jiang Chen's face. How could Jiang Chen call him fat? Jiang Chen, you have made a great contribution to the immortal court by successfully roping in Tianping Evil Emperor. I will report this to the Sovereign Lord and reward you. Chapter 1998. Master, there's no need for that. I have already obtained great benefits from this trip to the demonic immortal island. Jiang Chen said. What he said was true. Moreover, he didn't want any favor from Star Sovereign. After the matter of the demonic immortal island was settled, the next thing was the matter of the miniature Fengqi world. It wouldn't be long before the miniature Fengqi world opened once every 6 months. The immortal court had already begun to prepare for it. After entering the miniature Fengqi world, Jiang Chen would help Heaven Sovereign find the ancient elephant bloodline. Once Heaven Sovereign's cultivation base recovered, the immortal court would face a new chaos. Everything would be reshuffled. By the way, Jiang Chen, there's something I need to tell you. Feng Jingyang's tone suddenly turned solemn. What is it? Asked Jiang Chen. Looking at Feng Jingyang's expression, he could already predict that something was about to happen, and this matter was related to him. This is a letter of challenge I received 2 days ago from Eastern Xuanyu of Ethereal Immortal Domain. It's a letter of challenge for you. Take a look at it yourself. A golden letter of challenge appeared in Feng Jingyang's hand. With a casual flick, he passed it to Jiang Chen. Hearing that it was a letter of challenge from Eastern Xuanyu, Jiang Chen didn't dare to neglect it and hastily opened it. Jiang Chen, 3 days later, we will have a life-and-death battle in Genius Prefecture of Great Qian Empire to settle the scores between us. If you don't come, just wait to collect the thousands of corpses of Great Qian Empire, Northern and Southern dynasties. These were the words on the letter of challenge. Through the letter of challenge, one could hear the sharpness of the words of the person who wrote it. At the bottom of the letter were the words Northern and Southern dynasties. Power flame flashed in Jiang Chen's hand, instantly burning the letter of challenge into ashes. Jiang Chen clenched his fist, his eyes flashing with a cold light. The names of the Northern and Southern dynasties had been with him since the beginning. Ever since Qi province, the grievances and disputes between him and the Northern and Southern dynasties had not been resolved. This time, the Northern and Southern dynasties had named him to settle this once and for all. Jiang Chen had no reason to back down. Jiang Chen, according to my investigation, the Northern and Southern dynasties have just become great emperors not long ago. Now, the Great Qian Empire has completely fallen into his hands. All the important figures have been imprisoned by him, including your wife, Yan Chenyu. Feng Jingyang said. Hong, A surge of anger and murderous intent immediately burst out from Jiang Chen's body. He could already imagine the current situation in East Xuanyu. The northern and southern dynasties must have become great emperors before Yan Qinyu did. Then they decisively took down the great Qin Empire, which was the only one that could compete with him, and issued this letter of challenge to him. "I'm going back." Jiang Chen said nothing and turned to leave the palace. According to what Feng Jingyang said, the letter of challenge was issued 2 days ago. In other words, there was still one more day before the 3-day battle. Jiang Chen didn't dare to be negligent. The northern and southern dynasties were different from the others. They were truly madmen. If he didn't attend the battle in 3 days, the northern and southern dynasties would definitely take action against the people of the great Qian Empire. There was no doubt about this. "Jiang Chen, do you need me to take action?" Feng Jingyang asked. "No need. I will settle the matter between me and him personally. It's been so long, it's time to put an end to it." Jiang Chen rejected Feng Jingyang's good intention. He must take action personally to fight against the northern and southern dynasties. Now, the northern and southern dynasties had the same idea as him. They must settle the matter personally. If Jiang Chen used Feng Jingyang's method to get rid of the northern and southern dynasties, it would mean that Jiang Chen was afraid of the northern and southern dynasties and didn't dare to fight against the northern and southern dynasties. If that was the case, even if the northern and southern dynasties were killed, there would be a shadow in Jiang Chen's heart. It would be a serious blow to his future cultivation. "Junior brother, I will go with you." Yu Huafan walked to the front of Jiang Chen. "I appreciate senior brother's good intention. I can handle this matter by myself." As soon as Jiang Chen finished his words, he vanished in a flash. Before leaving the immortal court, he sent a message to the Huang dog. Soon, a man and a dog gathered outside the immortal court. "Little Chenzi, why are you in such a hurry?" The Huang dog saw that Jiang Chen's expression didn't look too good and asked. "The northern and southern dynasties have advanced to the great sovereign realm in advance, imprisoning the entire great Qian Empire. They have arranged a life-and-death battle with me tomorrow to settle this once and for all. We must hurry back as soon as possible." Jiang Chen said, "For God's sake. That bastard is really haunting us. But it's time to settle the matter between you and him, but that bastard has already advanced to the first-grade great sovereign realm. He won't be easy to deal with." The Huang dog said worriedly. He knew Jiang Chen too well. He was afraid that Jiang Chen wouldn't allow him to intervene in the decisive battle with the northern and southern dynasties. He must settle the matter with the northern and southern dynasties by himself. "Even if I'm not confident, I still have to fight them. My current cultivation base has already reached the peak of immortal venerable realm. The northern and southern dynasties have just advanced to the great sovereign realm. I'm not afraid of them." Jiang Chen said. Given his current condition, he was full of confidence in fighting against the northern and southern dynasties. Not necessarily. The northern and southern dynasties are different from ordinary great sovereigns. They are the reincarnations of great sovereigns. They have extremely rich experience and incredible control over the great sovereign law. It will be extremely difficult for you to defeat them with your current strength. Furthermore, the northern and southern dynasties have the monarch sword, which is able to fight against the immortal burying coffin. The Huang dog said worriedly. "No matter what, we have to fight them." Jiang Chen's battle-intent soared. This battle was unavoidable, because the northern and southern dynasties had already taken control of the entire great Qian Empire, leaving him with no other choice. "Little Chanzi, look at this." The Huang dog opened his mouth and spat out a combat sword. Immortal Execution Sword. Jiang Chen recognized the sword. It was the Immortal Execution Sword, which was as famous as the immortal burying coffin. It was the natal monarch weapon of the immortal execution king. Back when the Huang dog merged with it, it rarely appeared. At this moment, the immortal execution sword was golden in color, emitting endless monarch's aura. In terms of momentum, it was no weaker than the monarch sword and the immortal burying coffin. The immortal execution sword has almost recovered to its peak state after the constant cleansing of my bloodline. Now, I have added my will into the immortal execution sword. I will now hand the immortal execution sword to you. You will have complete control over this sword. When the time comes, you will use the immortal execution sword to fight against the monarch sword of the northern and southern dynasties. The Huang dog handed the immortal execution sword to Jiang Chen. Chapter 1999. It's indeed a peerless sword. Jiang Chen couldn't help but nod his head in admiration. As the famous immortal execution sword in the immortal world, it certainly deserved its reputation. His heavenly saint sword would certainly not be inferior to the immortal execution sword in the future. However, the gap between the heavenly saint sword and the immortal execution sword wasn't small at all. This time, they were going to deal with the northern and southern dynasties, who were Jiang Chen's mortal enemies. It was imaginable that the process would be a life-and-death struggle. With the immortal execution sword, Jiang Chen's confidence was boosted. He and a Huang dog tore the void apart, traversing millions of miles in an instant. They executed the great void teleportation and flew towards the direction of the ethereal immortal domain. Xueqi Immortal Court. Inside the palace. Master, should we help junior brother Jiang secretly? Yu Huafan looked at Feng Jingyang. His tone was still filled with worry. There's no need. Jiang Chen is a dragon favored by the heavens. His body is shrouded by great luck. Even I can't see through it. Plus, he is a man with his own mind. I think he and Nanbei Chao are old enemies. An enemy like this must be dealt with by him personally. Let him settle this by himself. I believe in him. Feng Jingyang said, his eyes flickering. As a powerful fifth-grade great sovereign, the hall master of the Dragon Hall, he had seen countless geniuses in his life, but Jiang Chen was the only one he couldn't see through. He believed that allowing Jiang Chen to enter the Dragon Hall would be the best decision he had ever made in his life. Many years later, when the story of the Dragon Hall was mentioned, Jiang Chen would definitely be his pride. Ethereal Immortal Domain. East Xuanyu. Today, East Xuanyu had fallen into the greatest turmoil. In fact, East Xuanyu had never been peaceful since the Golden Horizon. Jiang Chen's emergence had completely stirred up the muddy waters of East Xuanyu. Now, another heaven-defying northern and southern dynasties had emerged. Not long ago, East Xuanyu had been reduced from 11 major powers to 2 major powers. Now, a victor had been decided between these 2 major powers. A peerless genius had appeared in the Nanbei family. He had broken through to the great monarch realm in the shortest time possible and led the Nanbei family to conquer the world. Now they had imprisoned another giant, the Great Qian Empire, and the entire East Xuanyu was under the control of the Nanbei family. Genius Prefecture. Now, it was completely occupied by the Nanbei family as a base. All the higher-ups of the Great Qian Empire were imprisoned here. On the martial arena of Genius Prefecture, countless cages were lined up side by side. Under the scorching sun, these cages that were made of special metals were constantly reflecting dazzling brilliance. Yan Chenyu, Yang Yu, Yang Bufan, the Old Emperor, Supreme Elder, Yang Zonqing, Dong Fengyu, and all the higher-ups of Great Qian Empire were imprisoned in individual cages. There were also many huge cages where many disciples and elders of Genius Prefecture were imprisoned. These cages were enchanted with powerful formations and restrictive spells that were personally deployed by the northern and southern dynasties. Even a mighty peak immortal venerable wouldn't be able to walk out of them. However, apart from Yan Chenyu who had a pale face, the rest of the prisoners looked normal. There wasn't any change in their qi. It could be seen that when the northern and southern dynasties led Nanbei family to attack Great Qian Empire, they didn't encounter the slightest resistance. Without a doubt, after Yan Chenyu was defeated in the battle with the northern and southern dynasties, she immediately chose to surrender in order to protect Great Qian Empire from being destroyed. That was why there wasn't a large-scale bloodshed in Great Qian Empire. One had to admit that Yan Chenyu's approach was the wisest. Although the people of Great Qian Empire were rather aggrieved, there was no need to worry about firewood as long as the green hills were still there. Nothing was more important than preserving their lives when the pointless resistance was futile. More importantly, the faith of Great Qian Empire hadn't collapsed yet. Even though they had become prisoners, they didn't give up or admit defeat, because there was someone who hadn't appeared yet. That person carried all their hopes. That person's existence had given them the belief to persist. Without a doubt, that person was none other than Jiang Chen. All along, Jiang Chen had created miracle after miracle for Great Qian Empire. His image had long been deeply rooted in the hearts of countless people. He was like a godlike existence. As long as he took action, there was nothing that couldn't be solved. Now, in order to put an end to Jiang Chen, the northern and southern dynasties had issued a letter of challenge to Jiang Chen. They believed that Jiang Chen would certainly appear and wouldn't leave them behind. This was a belief and also a kind of trust. Outside the training field, The upper echelons of Nanbei family stared at the cages before them with smiles on their faces. Each and every one of them was smiling happily, especially the patriarch of Nanbei family, Nanbei Taisheng, who was grinning from ear to ear. Patriarch, isn't it too easy for us to imprison these people without killing them? One of the elders said. What do you know? Young Master Chao wants to have a life-and-death battle with Jiang Chen. Since he has given us 3 days, we must wait for 3 days. If we attack them now, wouldn't we be destroying young Master Chao's reputation? If young Master Chao were to blame us, who would be able to bear the consequences? Nanbei Taisheng glared at the elder. Patriarch, the 3 days are almost up. According to young Master Chao, there are at most 3 hours left. But Jiang Chen still hasn't appeared. In my opinion, there's an 80% chance that Jiang Chen won't dare to come. After all, young Master Chao is a powerful great emperor. No matter how powerful Jiang Chen is, how powerful can he be? He'll only be courting death if he comes. He's not a fool. It's hard to say. Many of the people we imprison are very important to Jiang Chen. Especially that Yan Chenyu. Jiang Chen definitely won't leave them behind. However, even if Jiang Chen comes, he'll still die. Young Master Chao is the reincarnation of the powerful great Emperor Batian. How can a puny Jiang Chen deal with him? The people of Nanbei family were incomparably confident. Now that they had ruled the entire East Xuanyu and completed the so-called hegemony, their mood couldn't be better. As for Jiang Chen, if it was in the past, they would still be afraid of him. But now that young Master Chao was here, they didn't put Jiang Chen in their eyes at all. From their point of view, it was fine if Jiang Chen didn't appear. Once he did, he would definitely die. Nanbei Taisheng strode into the training field and arrived before Yang Yu's cage. Hee, brother Yang Yu, you probably never dreamed that you would be reduced to such a state. The fate of the entire Great Qian Empire is now in my hands. I've said it before, our Nanbei family will definitely rule the entire East Xuanyu. Only I, Nanbei Taisheng, will have the last laugh. The northern and southern dynasties opened their mouths and spoke with incomparable pride. Nanbei Taisheng, what are you so proud of? It's still uncertain who will have the last laugh. Chapter 2000. Is that so? Yang Yu, do you really think that Jiang Chen will come back? He's not a fool. If he knows that he's going to die, what's the point of coming back? Nanbei Taisheng said with a playful look. Die. The person who can kill him hasn't appeared in this world yet. The 3 immortal courts have been hunting him, but he's still alive and well. Yang Yu said. Jiang Chen's influence on Great Qian Empire was too great. He had been deified. Even the emperor felt the same. In his heart, Jiang Chen was an omnipotent existence. If the 3 immortal courts couldn't kill him, it was even more impossible for young Master Chao to do so. Let's wait and see. If Jiang Chen doesn't come back in 3 hours, it will be the time of your death. At that time, I won't show any mercy. Nanbei Taisheng harumphed coldly, flicked his sleeves and turned to leave. In his point of view, Jiang Chen would never come back. After all, the situation was already very clear. Coming here meant death. As long as he wasn't a fool, he wouldn't come. Your Majesty, do you think young Master Jiang Chen will come back to save us? Someone asked. Don't worry. Little Chunzi won't leave us behind. I know him very well. Yang Bufan said confidently. He and Jiang Chen were life-and-death brothers. He knew Jiang Chen's character very well. Now that Great Qian Empire was in trouble, as long as Jiang Chen received the challenge letter, he would come forward even if he had to climb a mountain of swords or plunge into a sea of flames. I'm worried that Jiang Chen isn't a match for the northern and southern dynasties. I heard that young Master Chao is the reincarnation of Great Sovereign Batian. Now that he has advanced to the Great Sovereign Realm, not even Miss Yen is a match for him. How long has it been since Jiang Chen left? No matter how heaven-defying he is, he will at most advance by 1 level. How can he be a match for young Master Chao? That's right. If Jiang Chen isn't a match for them, not only will we die, but he will also lose his life. AI. Let's leave it to fate. Great Qian Empire has reached the most critical moment of life and death. I wonder if young Master Jiang can create another miracle this time. Most of the prisoners of the Great Qian Empire were filled with despair. According to Nanbei Taisheng, there were only 3 hours left. If Jiang Chen didn't come, their doomsday would come. Even if Jiang Chen were to come, he would not be a match for young Master Chao. After all, the difference in cultivation between the two of them was huge. However, now that they had become prisoners, the final fate of the great Qian Empire was in the hands of Jiang Chen. Whether they lived or died, they could only leave it to fate. "Miss Yan, are you all right?" Yang Bufan looked at Yan Chenyu and asked worriedly. That day, Yan Chenyu had suffered serious injuries during the battle with the northern and southern dynasties. "I'm fine. Don't worry. Brother Chen will definitely come back," Yan Chenyu said. Her tone was firmer than anyone else's. In her heart, Jiang Chen had never disappointed her. No matter how big the crisis was, Jiang Chen could always appear at the most critical moment and change the situation. Moreover, Yan Chenyu knew Jiang Chen too well. If this letter of challenge was sent by someone else, Jiang Chen might not care. But since it was sent by the northern and southern dynasties, Jiang Chen would definitely appear. In this world, the only person that Jiang Chen couldn't admit defeat to was the northern and southern dynasties. Just like how the northern and southern dynasties wouldn't admit defeat to Jiang Chen. In the blink of an eye, 2 hours had passed. To the people of Great Qian Empire, this was simply an anxious wait. Every second was torture. They were now standing on the execution ground, waiting for the time to come. By this time, many of them had begun to despair. Many of them thought that Jiang Chen wouldn't show up. If he was going to show up, he would have already arrived. After all, the letter of challenge had been sent out 3 days ago. If he was going to show up, he would have already arrived. There was only 1 hour left before the appointed time. The martial arts field began to stir. At this time, a tyrannical figure appeared in the sky. This person was exuding a domineering aura from head to toe. He wore a golden robe and had a head full of golden hair. His body was filled with a strong domineering aura. This golden-haired and golden-robed man was none other than the northern and southern dynasties, who had just advanced to the first-grade great sovereign realm. Just as Jiang Chen had expected, even though the northern and southern dynasties had just advanced to the first-grade great sovereign realm, their control of the great sovereign law was almost perfect. It wasn't something that Li Wangye and Qin Xianbing could compare to. "Young Master Chao, in my opinion, that Jiang Chen won't dare to show up," an elder of Nanbei family said. "He will definitely show up," the northern and southern dynasties said indifferently. Other than friends, there were also enemies who understood a person the most. Even at the last second, the northern and southern dynasties believed that Jiang Chen would definitely show up. "Young Master Chao, what if Jiang Chen doesn't show up?" Nanbei Taixing asked. "If he doesn't show up, kill everyone here. Leave no one alive." The tone of the northern and southern dynasties was as calm as before, but the ruthlessness in their tone gave people goosebumps. No one doubted the words of the northern and southern dynasties. Their tone itself was unquestionable. It was a judgment from a superior. Everyone knew that as long as Jiang Chen didn't show up, blood would flow like a river today, turning this place into a slaughterhouse. The people of the Great Qian Empire began to stir restlessly. Countless faces of despair were incomparably pale. For the first time, they felt that death was so close to them. And at this moment, a hole suddenly exploded in the air. Everyone could see a man and a dog appearing. The place where they were at was filled with raging waves. That white-robed man's black hair fluttered in the wind. He was like an unparalleled god of war, casually emitting a radiance that caused people to not dare to look at him directly. "It's Jiang Chen. Jiang Chen is here. He has appeared. He didn't abandon our Great Qian Empire. Jiang Chen has come to save us. Great, we are saved. As long as Jiang Chen is here, everything will be fine." The people of Great Qian Empire, who had already given up all hope, revealed a look of ecstasy the moment they saw Jiang Chen. It was an indescribable excitement. They didn't know how strong Jiang Chen was. They didn't even know if Jiang Chen could defeat the northern and southern dynasties, but they firmly believed that as long as Jiang Chen was here, they would be saved. Jiang Chen would never watch them die. There was no doubt about it. It was a kind of faith, a blind faith. He has never disappointed anyone. The corner of Yang Yu's mouth revealed a trace of a smile. He knew that he wasn't wrong about Jiang Chen. All along, Jiang Chen had never disappointed anyone. This had been proven countless times. His cultivation base has already reached the peak of late immortal venerable realm. It seems like he's only a step away from the half-step sovereign realm. Given his strength, He's totally capable of fighting the northern and southern dynasties in his dragon form. Chapter 2001. Not only Yang Bufan, but also Yang Yu, the old emperor, and many other immortal venerables had also noticed the tremendous progress of Jiang Chen's cultivation base. The cultivation base that Jiang Chen had displayed had undoubtedly given Great Qian Empire another kind of confidence. Although the northern and southern dynasties were only first-grade great sovereigns, a person like Jiang Chen couldn't be measured by ordinary cultivation base. Even if he was only a peak immortal venerable, it was enough to be compared to the northern and southern dynasties. Jiang Chen, you have finally appeared. The northern and southern dynasties looked at Jiang Chen and immediately unleashed their violent battle intent. Jiang Chen's eyes, however, fell upon the prisoners, especially when he saw the injured Yan Chenyu. The fury in his eyes couldn't be concealed. Northern and southern dynasties, you have hurt someone you shouldn't have. And for everything that your Nanbei family has done to Great Qian Empire, you will have to pay a heavy price. From today onwards, you and Nanbei family will cease to exist. Jiang Chen spoke loudly. His entire being was filled with a domineering aura. Jiang Chen, I like your arrogance. Let's put an end to our conflict today. Unfortunately, the one who will die in the end isn't me, but you. My northern and southern dynasties are invincible. The northern and southern dynasties spoke. Their golden hair stood erect, like sharp swords piercing into the void one day. The ultimate battle, a life-and-death battle. With a sway of his body, Jiang Chen arrived above the sky. He transformed into his dragon form and opened up a battlefield. All right. With a sway of his body, Nanbei Chao appeared on the battlefield, standing opposite of Jiang Chen. His face was filled with overbearing qi. After so many years, this pair of old enemies had finally reached the pinnacle of the immortal world. Now, they were going to have a true showdown. This time, it would be a battle of life and death. From today onwards, there would only be one between Jiang Chen and Nanbei Chao in the immortal world. This was the common thought of both of them. They had the same goal. They didn't retreat or fear, even if they would die in the hands of the other party. Jiang Chen, your growth has indeed surprised me. Unfortunately, your immortal venerable cultivation base is still far from being able to fight me. My means aren't something you can imagine. Killing you today will fulfill one of my wishes, said Jiang Chen. The northern and southern dynasties spoke arrogantly. It wasn't because he didn't put Jiang Chen in his eyes, but because of his innate arrogance and supreme dominance. On the contrary, Jiang Chen had already become the existence that the northern and southern dynasties cared about the most, surpassing Empress Nine. Otherwise, the northern and southern dynasties wouldn't have specially issued a challenge to Jiang Chen and waited here for 3 days. In the entire immortal world, Jiang Chen was probably the only person that the northern and southern dynasties regarded with such importance. Northern and southern dynasties. I've heard these words too many times. Let's see who's the real deal. Jiang Chen didn't want to waste time, nor did he want to talk nonsense with the northern and southern dynasties. There was no need for nonsense between him and the northern and southern dynasties, because it was meaningless. Roar. Jiang Chen moved. A dragon roar shook the sky. The true dragon palm rushed towards the northern and southern dynasties like a towering blood barrier. Sensing the power of Jiang Chen, the eyes of the northern and southern dynasties changed a little, because the combat strength that Jiang Chen had just displayed was too inconsistent with his cultivation base. The fact that a late immortal venerable could exert combat strength that was on par with them had dealt a blow to the pride of the northern and southern dynasties. The northern and southern dynasties weren't fools. They knew very well that it was absolutely impossible for them to exert such terrifying combat strength when they were still at the late immortal venerable realm. In this aspect alone, they were no match for Jiang Chen. The feeling of being inferior made the northern and southern dynasties incomparably uncomfortable, to the point that they couldn't accept it. In the face of such a situation, the only thing that the northern and southern dynasties could do was to use their strongest means to destroy the other party and let the other party die tragically. In that way they could completely defend their dignity. The northern and southern dynasties struck as well. Their reddish-golden fists collided with Jiang Chen's blood-red dragon claw. In just an instant, the violent energy tore the void apart. It was too violent. Even though a battlefield had been opened up, the pressure radiating from the battle still made the people below feel incomparably uncomfortable. Long. After the first collision, Jiang Chen instantly casted out the 5 Elements Combat Dragon Seal while Nanbei Chao casted out the Wisdom King Fist. Both of them were locked in a fierce battle. The battle had reached its climax. The northern and southern dynasties had just advanced to the great sovereign realm, and their means were exceedingly high. Jiang Chen was also a peak late immortal venerable. In his half-dragon form, with the help of the true dragon combat skill, the great void technique and the great divination art, he already had the ability to contend against the northern and southern dynasties. At least judging from the current situation, the two of them were equally matched. Given Jiang Chen's current strength, it would be a piece of cake for him to kill an ordinary first-grade great sovereign genius, but it was a different story when it came to the geniuses of the northern and southern dynasties. The faces of the people below turned pale. They had never seen such a fierce battle before. Each and every one of them was trembling with fear. Their eyes were glued to the battlefield. Whether it was the people of Great Qian Empire or Nanbei family, they were all paying close attention to this battle. Everyone knew that the outcome of this battle was directly related to their life and death. If Jiang Chen was defeated, the only thing that awaited Great Qian Empire would be annihilated. Similarly, if the northern and southern dynasties were defeated, the ending of Nanbei family wouldn't be any better either. Patriarch, this Jiang Chen has really come. He's truly a monstrous genius. Every time he appears, he would make tremendous progress. Now, he's already able to fight young Master Chao with his late immortal venerable cultivation base. This is truly rare. An elder of Nanbei family couldn't help but sigh while looking at the heated battle in the sky. Even if he was unwilling, he had to admit that Jiang Chen was very powerful. It was imaginable that if Jiang Chen's cultivation base was on par with the northern and southern dynasties, the northern and southern dynasties wouldn't be a match for Jiang Chen at all. Don't worry. Young Master Chao's means aren't something that you and I can imagine. He still hasn't used the monarch sword. Jiang Chen will die for sure today. There's no doubt about it. We just need to watch. Nanbei Taixing spoke with incomparable confidence. Nanbei family had the same blind confidence in the northern and southern dynasties. The reincarnation of great sovereign Batian was enough to give them great confidence. As for the people of Great Qian Empire, after seeing that Jiang Chen wasn't at a disadvantage against the northern and southern dynasties, each and every one of them became excited. Incredible! Young Master Jiang Chen has become even more terrifying. He's able to fight a great sovereign with his late immortal venerable cultivation base. He's the most heaven-defying genius I've ever seen. That's for sure. I've already said that as long as Jiang Chen is here, we will be fine. Chapter 2002. Honglong. Jiang Chen and the northern and southern dynasties collided fiercely once more. The entire sky above the battlefield had turned into chaos. The battlefield was completely torn apart. Boundless pressure sprinkled down, causing the souls of the people below to tremble. Terrifying airwaves covered the scorching sun. Destructive qi was everywhere. The entire sky above Genius Prefecture seemed to be experiencing the end of the world. No one spoke a word. Both sides were too strong. Although the first-grade great sovereigns of the northern and southern dynasties were slightly stronger, no one dared to predict the result of this battle. After all, Jiang Chen wasn't an easy opponent. Whether it was his own people or his enemies, they all had a deep impression of Jiang Chen. This man had always been creating miracles. The three immortal courts were bent on killing him, but he was still alive and growing stronger. Dong dong. On the battlefield, Jiang Chen madly executed the Azure Dragon's 5 steps. Each of his steps was as heavy as billions of caddies. Each of his steps could shatter a part of the heavens and earth. The northern and southern dynasties struck out 5 punches. The terrifying Wisdom King fist seemed to be filled with wisdom. Each of his punches emitted boundless golden light. Each of his punches collided with Jiang Chen's Azure Dragon's 5 steps violently, causing turbulent airwaves. It was afraid that only the northern and southern dynasties dared to collide with the Azure Dragon's 5 steps. Jiang Chen, you are indeed the most heaven-defying genius I have ever seen. If you continue to grow to the same level as me, my northern and southern dynasties will never be a match for you. Unfortunately, you no longer have the chance to do so. No matter what, you have to die today. The northern and southern dynasties were incomparably arrogant. Monarch qi began to spread from their bodies. It was an incomparably noble and superior aura. The airwaves emitted from them were like ripples. The northern and southern dynasties' bodies were covered in golden light. He looked like the true ruler of heaven and earth. The aura of the Emperor Heaven Art was completely revealed. After a series of collisions, the northern and southern dynasties clearly didn't want to waste any more time. They were prepared to use their strongest attacks. It could be seen that the northern and southern dynasties' fighting spirit was unparalleled. Today, Jiang Chen's strength made him very satisfied with this ultimate battle. If Jiang Chen's cultivation did not improve by leaps and bounds, then the northern and southern dynasties would be extremely disappointed. After all, Jiang Chen was the only opponent that the northern and southern dynasties thought highly of and respected. Sovereign's body, suppress. The northern and southern dynasties' body became 100 feet tall. His golden hair danced in the wind. The might of the ruler of heaven and earth was completely released. He stretched out a huge palm. It was like a heavenly barrier, imprisoning the battlefield and the void. It shrouded towards Jiang Chen. This move was called suppression. It came from the suppression of the ruler of heaven and earth. In an irresistible pressure and prison, any enemy would be imprisoned. Under the suppression of the ruler, people would subconsciously have the thought of submitting. Once such a thought appeared, the outcome of the battle could be imagined. Unfortunately, the suppression of the northern and southern dynasties' ruler was useless against Jiang Chen. Among the heroes of heaven and earth, who would dare to call himself a ruler? Jiang Chen was the son of the heavenly dragon. His nobility surpassed that of the northern and southern dynasties. In terms of ruler, Jiang Chen was the real ruler. The blood of a supreme being flowed in his body. In front of him, the suppression of the ruler's might from the northern and southern dynasties was just energy suppression. The suppression was useless, not to mention intimidating Jiang Chen's soul. Slaughter Dragon Seal. Jiang Chen no longer concealed himself. He came forward and displayed the Slaughter Dragon Seal. The sovereign heaven art of the northern and southern dynasties was too powerful. Jiang Chen had to use a fierce method to resist it. The mad dragon roared. The slaughter dragon emerged, carrying rolling lightning. Then, Jiang Chen integrated 6 kinds of powerful supreme flames. Such a mystical dragon, carrying endless killing intent, once again collided with the northern and southern dynasties. Rumble. The heavens and earth changed color again. This was the pinnacle confrontation between the sovereign heaven art and the slaughter dragon seal. Both were the most powerful means of both sides. Under the impact of the vast ocean-like energy, Jiang Chen and the northern and southern dynasties were pushed back dozens of meters before they could stabilize their bodies. A trace of blood flowed out from the corner of their mouths. The Tao of slaughter had fused with the will of the dragon transformation art. Jiang Chen fought with all his might. With the help of the great divination art, he could calculate the attack trajectory of the northern and southern dynasties. But even so, he was only on par with the northern and southern dynasties. From this, it could be seen that the strength of the northern and southern dynasties had reached a terrifying level. Haha again. The northern and southern dynasties laughed wildly. Their battle intent was even more intense than before. They raised their hands to the sky and formed a phantom of a ruler. It was a peerless ruler. His appearance couldn't be seen clearly, but the body of a ruler was hundreds of meters tall. It was like a mountain, pressing towards Jiang Chen fiercely. Roar. On the other side, Jiang Chen's body changed again. He changed from a half-human half-dragon form to 100 meters tall blood dragon. Just from the size, he was even bigger than the phantom of the ruler. The dragon's body circled in the sky. Its body was filled with endless flames. Its emotionless and cold eyes looked down on everything in the world. Its huge dragon claws could crush the whole world with a casual move. The whole scene could be described as shocking. My God, is that a real dragon? It's the aura of a real dragon. Has Jiang Chen completely become a deity? This is too terrifying. Could it be that his dragon transformation is not a simple transformation skill? Is Jiang Chen the reincarnation of an ancient real dragon? Don't talk nonsense. The human aura on him is also very strong. Who cares? Anyway, Jiang Chen is too abnormal. He's simply a super monster. I hope he can defeat the northern and southern dynasties in the end. Many people looked at the dragon circling in the sky and were shocked. They had never seen such a shocking scene before. The real dragon was a supreme existence that had disappeared since the ancient times. Or rather, the real dragon did not disappear. Instead, it existed in a higher world. Even in the immortal world, it was hard to find the shadow of a real dragon. It was already extremely rare to find an existence with the bloodline of a real dragon. How could the strong dragon aura of Jiang Chen not be shocking? Rumble. On the battlefield, The claws of the real dragon clashed with the phantom of the ruler. The horrifying airwaves exploded. This was the clash of the pinnacle of power. It could no longer be described with just the word horrifying. Crack, crack. The powers clashed continuously. Cracks began to appear on the body of the phantom of the ruler, letting out cracking sounds. At the same time, the dragon scales on Jiang Chen's body fell off one by one. His blood turned into red rain and sprinkled down from the sky. It was a heart-wrenching sight. Chapter 2003. Rumble. Both of them disregarded the injuries on their bodies and continued to collide fiercely. The body of a true dragon and the body of a monarch were like two mountains colliding back and forth. On Jiang Chen's side, dragon scales danced in the air and blood gushed out crazily. On the other hand, as cracks continued to appear on the body of a monarch, the true bodies of the northern and southern dynasties were also spurting out blood. It was obvious that they had suffered serious injuries. Even so, the fierce battle still continued. The two of them seemed to have entered a state of selflessness, completely immersed in the battle. Eternal immortal wind. The two of them seemed to have reached a tacit understanding as they unleashed the eternal immortal wind at the same time. The violent wind waves completely formed a domain, or rather, two domains were colliding and intertwining. Jiang Chen, don't you have your own means? Unleash this monarch's eternal immortal wind. The northern and southern dynasties said mockingly. Who said that the eternal immortal wind must belong to your northern and southern dynasties? The eternal immortal wind that I unleashed is not any weaker than yours. Jiang Chen's voice shook the sky. Violent immortal wind constantly gushed out from his body like terrifying sharp swords, cutting the void into pieces. The entire scene gave people a feeling of doomsday. Heavens, such a battle scene has really widened my horizons. Too fierce, too violent. These two are monstrous geniuses. How great would it be if I could reach that level one day? I advise you to hurry up and pee. Don't worry about how much you pee. Look at yourself first. Why don't you take a look at yourself first? How dare you compare yourself to Jiang Chen? Get lost. Can't I have a dream? Even if I can't achieve it. At this time, whether it was the people of Great Qian Empire or Nanbei family, all of them were deeply attracted by the fierce battle between Jiang Chen and the northern and southern dynasties. It was an unimaginable shock. On the battlefield, even Jiang Chen had to admit that the northern and southern dynasties with the strength of a first-grade great sovereign could bring him a certain kind of pressure. In the previous violent collision, his injuries were obviously more serious than those of the northern and southern dynasties. However, the recovery speed of Jiang Chen's dragon transformation skill was so fast that on the surface, Jiang Chen's situation was no different from that of the northern and southern dynasties. This was also the terrifying part of the dragon transformation skill and Jiang Chen's biggest advantage. With such a terrifying recovery speed, Jiang Chen was almost invincible. Not only that, at this moment, Jiang Chen was completely immersed in the thrill of the fierce battle. He hadn't found this feeling for a long time. Moreover, the impact of the pressure emerging from the northern and southern dynasties on Jiang Chen was a completely different scene. The circulation of the dragon transformation skill was getting faster and faster. Jiang Chen could faintly feel that he was about to break through under this wonderful state and pressure. Even Jiang Chen himself didn't know that a few hundred new dragon marks had appeared in his Qi Si. It could be said that in the process of fighting against the northern and southern dynasties, Jiang Chen was also constantly growing. For the northern and southern dynasties, although they could feel the thrill of such a battle, they couldn't improve their cultivation. This was because their original way of thinking was different from Jiang Chen's. Jiang Chen had never entered the immortal world, let alone come into contact with the great emperor realm. The realm he was in now was his most powerful realm. However, the northern and southern dynasties were different. He was great Emperor Batian in his previous life. Whether it was in terms of vision or knowledge, he was much more experienced than Jiang Chen. Therefore, it was difficult for him to find the same state that Jiang Chen was in. If the battle continued like this, Jiang Chen would have a chance to counterattack, because he was constantly getting stronger, but Nan Bei Chao's strength remained the same. If this continued, the result could be easily imagined. Jiang Chen's strength was still the same. Clang! The northern and southern dynasties made a grabbing motion. The monarch sword appeared in their hands with an earth-shaking whistling sound. With the monarch sword in hand, the qi of the northern and southern dynasties suddenly rose by a lot, obviously more terrifying than before. Jiang Chen, You should be proud of yourself for being able to fight me like this with your cultivation base of a peak immortal venerable. Next, I won't hold back anymore. I'll kill you straight away. The murderous intent of the northern and southern dynasties soared into the sky. The monarch's sword had completely locked onto Jiang Chen's chi. Not good. This guy is using the monarch's sword. That's a peerless sovereign weapon that can greatly increase the combat strength of the northern and southern dynasties. Jiang Chen doesn't have a sovereign weapon that can fight against it. I'm afraid he won't be a match for it. The legendary monarch sword is just too terrifying. I wonder how Jiang Chen is going to deal with it. Don't worry too much. I believe that Jiang Chen still has a powerful trump card that he hasn't used yet. Since he dares to fight the northern and southern dynasties, he must have some confidence in winning. Upon seeing the northern and southern dynasties using the monarch's sword, the faces of the people of Great Qian Empire changed. Their faces were filled with worry. There was no way they wouldn't be worried. Everyone knew how much a peerless sovereign weapon could bring to a cultivator. If Jiang Chen was able to fight the northern and southern dynasties on equal footing with the monarch's sword, the situation would be reversed immediately. Jiang Chen would no longer be a match for them. Haha. Young Master Chao's monarch sword is the final trump card. This time, even if Jiang Chen has 3 heads and 6 arms, he will still be killed by the monarch sword. That's right. Young Master Chao is destined to win this battle. There's no doubt about it. Compared to the worries of the people of Great Qian Empire, the people of Nanbei family were extremely excited. Naturally, they had their reasons to be excited. After all, this battle concerned the life and death of the entire Nanbei family. Just when many people thought that the northern and southern dynasties would win with the monarch's sword, a peerless sword appeared in Jiang Chen's hand. It was a soaring sword that emitted an immortal glow. The sword chi was like a dragon that soared into the sky. In terms of aura, the sword was not any weaker than the monarch's sword of the northern and southern dynasties. Immortal execution sword? Why do you have the immortal execution sword? Upon seeing the immortal execution sword, the people of the northern and southern dynasties had a slight change of expression. In terms of rank, the incomparably powerful immortal execution sword was above their monarch sword. Although the monarch sword was also a peerless monarch weapon, it was still inferior to the immortal execution sword and the immortal burying coffin. Although the northern and southern dynasties could use the monarch sword to fight against Yan Qinyu's immortal burying coffin, it did not mean that the monarch sword and the immortal burying coffin were on the same level. After all, although the immortal burying coffin was powerful, Yan Qinyu was not the true owner of the coffin. Although she could control it, she could not unleash its true power. On the other hand, the monarch sword of the northern and southern dynasties was a natal monarch weapon that could perfectly unleash the power of the monarch sword. As such, the gap between the monarch sword and the immortal burying coffin was narrowed. That's none of your business. Now that you have the monarch sword and I have the immortal execution sword, I'm afraid it's hard to say who will die and who will live. Jiang Chen said loudly. For the fastest and error-free novel reading, please visit Chapter 2004. The appearance of the immortal execution sword had indeed shocked the northern and southern dynasties. It had also exceeded their expectations. Guys, look! Jiang Chen also has a peerless sword in his hand. Its aura doesn't seem to be any weaker than the monarch sword. What sword is that? The northern and southern dynasties were talking about the immortal execution sword. Oh my god, is that true? That's the life monarch weapon left behind by the immortal execution king. It's a famous existence in the immortal world, just like the immortal execution king. Today, Jiang Chen has obtained the immortal execution sword. This is too shocking. Amazing. The immortal execution sword has appeared. I told you that Jiang Chen must have a powerful trump card. With the immortal execution sword, Jiang Chen won't be afraid of the northern and southern dynasties anymore. It's still hard to tell what the outcome will be. Jiang Chen can always bring about miracles. The people of Great Qian Empire, who were extremely worried, were overjoyed when they saw the appearance of the immortal execution sword. The fame of the immortal execution sword was known by everyone. Now that Jiang Chen had such a trump card, it was enough for them to have full confidence in him. The people of Nanbei family, on the other hand, were in a different situation. From surprise to horror, the smile on their faces froze. Damn it, why does this bastard have the immortal execution sword? Didn't the immortal execution sword disappear along with the immortal execution king in ancient times? Damn it. Don't worry. So what if Jiang Chen has the immortal execution sword? With his current strength, he can't unleash the power of the immortal execution sword. However, young Master Chao can perfectly unleash the power of the monarch sword. Therefore, there's still a certain gap between them. That's right. Just wait and see. Jiang Chen will die for sure in this battle. Although they were shocked, the people of Nanbei family still had absolute confidence in the northern and southern dynasties. All along, young Master Chao was absolutely supreme in the hearts of countless people of Nanbei family. A godlike existence that was omnipotent. On the battlefield, Sword Qi from the immortal exterminating sword and the Emperor sword kept appearing, competing with each other. They both wanted to suppress the other's aura. Jiang Chen, let me see how powerful the legendary immortal slaying sword is. The northern and southern dynasties exploded, and boundless Emperor's light fused into the monarch sword. The huge sword suddenly became 300 meters long, and the northern and southern dynasties raised it high. The Sword Qi soared into the sky, and a dragon of Sword Qi appeared in the sky, poking a huge hole in the sky. Black icy waves of Qi gushed out from the hole. Shwa! The northern and southern dynasties acted, slashing down with their swords. One sword move stirred the wind and clouds, and one sword move pierced through the sky. It was a sword without any fancy moves. The peerless Emperor weapon seemed to have come to life. It was unknown how much power this sword contained. If one had to use a word to describe it, it would be that it could destroy the heavens and earth. On the other side, Jiang Chen was equally domineering. The immortal slaying sword was also 300 meters long, and the body of the sword was filled with several kinds of supreme flames. It constantly swallowed and spat out light, like countless spiritual snakes. It looked extremely beautiful. But behind this beauty, there was extremely terrifying destruction. Come on! Jiang Chen roared, and the immortal slaying sword struck out. It was also without any fancy moves. Under countless horrified gazes, the two peerless swords collided with each other. Rumble! This was an extreme collision. It could no longer be described as fierce. It was extreme destruction. The sparks created from just one collision directly evolved into a sea of fire. Countless sword qi interweaved and collided. The whole scene was too beautiful, and it made people tremble with fear. This sword seemed to carry all the energy from both sides. That violent counterattack caused both of them to fly backwards. They were like two small boats in a vast ocean of energy. They looked very small, but in fact, they were the real masters here. Blood was dripping from their bodies, but it could not stop their beliefs. Again, Jiang Chen's dragon wings fluttered, and the Great Void technique turned him into an omnipresent ghost. Carrying the sword, he charged forward again. Jiang Chen had already entered a state of battle where he forgot himself. Under the stimulation of this state, the number of dragon marks in his sea of qi began to rise rapidly, madly rushing towards the half-emperor realm. On the opposite side, the golden hair of the northern and southern dynasties was 3,000 zhang long. He and Jiang Chen were like two madmen, desperately fighting each other again. This was a battle of the pinnacle. In the eyes of others, it was just a cruel and intense battle. But in the eyes of those who understood, it was a long-cherished wish. De Huang Dog and Yan Chenyu were mesmerized by the scene. They watched the two madly fighting each other, regardless of the blood and injuries on their bodies. If it was in the past, Yan Chenyu and De Huang Dog would definitely be extremely worried when they saw Jiang Chen being injured like this, especially De Huang Dog, who might have rushed forward to help. But now, Yan Chenyu, who was in the prison, did not say anything. Neither did De Huang Dog. There was no sign of them making a move. Because they knew very well that this was a duel between Jiang Chen and Nanbei Chao. It was a predestined decision. They had to kill each other with their own hands in order to fulfill their long-cherished wish. Only then would they be able to clear their thoughts, and only then would they be able to walk a long path in the future. Therefore, even De Huang Dog could not participate in this battle. He could only be a spectator. This battle was destined to be cruel. In the end, only one of them could survive. Rumble. The fierce battle had reached its climax. Two peerless swords constantly collided with each other. Above the sky, the area within a radius of thousands of miles had been turned into chaos. Destructive energy was drifting everywhere, covering the entire sky. After this battle, it would take at least a month for this part of the void to return to peace. Jiang Chen and the northern and southern dynasties had become two bloody men, but the fight still showed no signs of stopping. He brandished his sword, and his blood sprayed everywhere. Forget about all the emotions in this battle. I only want this moment to be carefree. The battle lasted for 3 hours. Before he knew it, 15,000 dragon marks had appeared in Jiang Chen's Qi Si. He was only 5,000 away from becoming a half-step martial monarch. What was certain was that Jiang Chen had benefited a lot from this battle. Driven by that state of selflessness, Jiang Chen's cultivation base was also advancing by leaps and bounds. As long as Jiang Chen could win and survive this battle, his thoughts would immediately become clear. In less than 3 days, he could directly break through to the half-step martial monarch realm. Although Jiang Chen's cultivation base was improving, his condition was very bad. The continuous collisions had caused great damage to his body. Even the terrifying dragon transformation skill could not make up for it. Chapter 2005. The scene quietened down. Jiang Chen and the northern and southern dynasties looked at each other and closed their eyes at the same time. The people below didn't dare to speak. They knew that when Jiang Chen and the northern and southern dynasties opened their eyes again, it would be the moment of life and death. It was not hard to imagine that after such a long and intense battle, the two of them would probably have to resort to a mutually destructive strategy. 5 minutes passed. During these 5 minutes, Jiang Chen and the northern and southern dynasties didn't think of launching a sneak attack on each other. They just closed their eyes and stood there quietly. Swoosh! Suddenly, the two of them opened their eyes at the same time as though they had discussed it beforehand. 4 beams of light shot out from their eyes at the same time. The 4 beams of light were like 4 dazzling sharp swords, causing ripples in the void space. Jiang Chen, come on. The last move. The northern and southern dynasties raised the emperor sword in their hands and pointed it at Jiang Chen. Come on. Jiang Chen also raised the celestial eradication sword. After fighting for so long, they had made up their minds to put an end to this today. Swoosh, swoosh. Under countless nervous gazes, the two of them disappeared at the same time. Their speed was extremely fast and they were like 2 beams of lightning. In the next moment, the two of them collided. However, this time, they weren't pushed back by each other. Their bodies were still and the swords in their hands pierced into each other's body at the same time. However, the northern and southern dynasties' swords pierced through Jiang Chen's shoulders, while Jiang Chen's sword pierced through the northern and southern dynasties' hearts. Bang! A terrifying sword aura raged and one of Jiang Chen's dragon arms was shattered on the spot. Blood spurted out and the white bones exploded. At the same time, Jiang Chen's celestial eradication sword released a destructive sword aura. His sword aura shattered the organs of the northern and southern dynasties and even destroyed their vitality. Barf! The northern and southern dynasties spurted out a mouthful of blood and their expressions began to wither. It's over, Jiang Chen said calmly. However, at this moment, he didn't feel the slightest bit of joy. After killing the northern and southern dynasties, he suddenly felt lonely, as though something was missing in his life. It was an indescribable feeling. Before you die, tell me how you did it, the northern and southern dynasties said. The great divination art deduced the trajectory of your sword, and the great void art avoided your vital parts. Even so, you still broke one of my arms, Jiang Chen said. He wanted the northern and southern dynasties to die in peace. I see. Nanbei Chao shook his head. At this moment, he had lost his domineering aura. His face was as pale as paper, but there was no regret in his eyes. Once you're dead, I'll let Nanbei family go and guarantee their safety in Eastern Profound Domain. Southern and Dynasty Jiang Time, Chen said. Thank you. The northern and southern dynasties had never said these 2 words to anyone. This time, he completely closed his eyes. He didn't choose to escape with his soul because he knew that under Jiang Chen's control, anything he did would be futile. Young Master Chao is dead. Our Nanbei family is finished. Young Master Chao wasn't a match for Jiang Chen and died under Jiang Chen's sword. Jiang Chen will never let us go. How could this be? How could this be? Nanbei family was completely agitated. The death of the northern and southern dynasties was too great of a blow to them, directly dropping them from the sky to the bottom of the valley. The indescribable difference in their hearts made many of them feel like collapsing. Voila! At this moment, De Huang Dog made his move. He struck out countless dazzling rays of light that fell on the training field below. After the rays of light flashed, all the prisons disappeared and the upper echelons of Great Qian Empire instantly regained their freedom. The moment they regained their freedom, the people of Great Qian Empire surrounded the people of Nanbei family. Each of them gritted their teeth and revealed ferocious gazes. Nanbei Taixing, weren't you very arrogant? Your young master Chao is dead. What else do you have to be arrogant for? How could Yang Yu let go of this opportunity to ridicule them? At this moment, everyone from Great Qian Empire was incomparably excited. Their trusted Jiang Chen didn't disappoint them and once again created a miracle for Great Qian Empire. Your Majesty, let's destroy Nanbei family together. Someone shouted, followed by a soaring killing intent. Under the cover of this violent killing intent, the faces of the people of Nanbei family turned pale. They were in complete despair. At the moment when Nanbei Chao was killed, they had already given up everything in their hearts. Stop! A voice resounded. The killing intent that had erupted from Great Qian Empire was instantly suppressed by this shout. The person who spoke was none other than Jiang Chen. He slowly pulled out the long sword from the bodies of the northern and southern dynasties. His body had returned to human form, and the blood on his body had disappeared. However, the severed arm didn't grow back immediately. Under countless gazes, Jiang Chen stretched out his hand and placed it above the heads of the northern and southern dynasties. Then, he used the crystal ball to send the souls of the northern and southern dynasties into it. Seeing Jiang Chen's action, De Huang Dog and Yan Chenyu couldn't help but nod their heads. When Jiang Chen descended from the sky with one hand holding the northern and southern dynasties, the crystal ball and the monarch sword were floating on his body. When Jiang Chen approached Nanbei Taixing, fear immediately appeared in Nanbei Taixing's eyes. This young man, whom he once looked down upon, had completely grown up and was now high and mighty. Nanbei family patriarch, I, Jiang Chen, have promised the northern and southern dynasties that I will ensure the safety of Nanbei family. You can continue to live in East Xuanyu in peace, and no one will dare to go against you. Jiang Chen said. Hearing this, the people of Nanbei family couldn't help but let out a sigh of relief. However, what everyone couldn't understand was that Jiang Chen and the northern and southern dynasties were obviously mortal enemies, yet the northern and southern dynasties were already dead. In that case, with Jiang Chen's style of doing things, he should have annihilated Nanbei family. But now, he had to agree to the request of the northern and southern dynasties to protect Nanbei family. This was too incomprehensible. Of course, they didn't need to understand. This was what Jiang Chen wanted to do himself. Although the northern and southern dynasties are dead, they will welcome a new life. This is his soul. I've already erased his memory. Bring it back and let him be reborn into Nanbei family. And this monarch sword, take good care of it. It might see the light of day again one day. And the remains of the northern and southern dynasties, take them back and give them a proper burial. As Jiang Chen spoke, he directly handed the bodies of the northern and southern dynasties, their souls, and the monarch sword to Nanbei Taixing. Chapter 2006. What's going on? Why did young Master Jiang Chen's temperament suddenly change so much? Shouldn't he be annihilating Nanbei family after killing the northern and southern dynasties? Now, not only does he want to give the northern and southern dynasties a chance to be reborn, but he also wants to ensure the safety of Nanbei family. This doesn't seem like his style. Yeah, I wonder what young Master Jiang is thinking. Don't speak. What do you guys know? Young Master Jiang naturally has his own reasons for doing this. The people of Great Qian Empire were also at a loss. Based on their understanding of Jiang Chen had never left a way out for his enemies. He would always cut the weeds and eliminate the roots. Normally, even if he didn't annihilate Nanbei family, he would never give the northern and southern dynasties a chance to be reborn. As a matter of fact, Jiang Chen also had the same thought before the battle with the northern and southern dynasties. He wanted to kill the northern and southern dynasties and annihilate Nanbei family. However, at the moment when his long sword shattered the vitality of the northern and southern dynasties, he suddenly felt that without the northern and southern dynasties in this world, it was as if he had lost a part of his life. It was a feeling of mutual appreciation. Jiang Chen knew that he and the northern and southern dynasties were actually the same kind of people. They all wanted to conquer the world and sweep away all obstacles. Jiang Chen felt that if it wasn't for the arrangement of fate, he and the northern and southern dynasties might have become good friends. However, fate made a fool out of people. The two of them were destined to be enemies. Moreover, they were old enemies. Since they were enemies, one of them must die. With the death of the northern and southern dynasties, in order to make up for the regret in his heart, Jiang Chen gave him a chance to be reborn. In this way, Jiang Chen's heart wouldn't be lonely. He erased all the memories of the souls of the northern and southern dynasties. When the northern and southern dynasties were reborn, they would be a new person. They would have nothing to do with their previous lives. At that time, without his obstruction, the northern and southern dynasties might really be able to shine and become the main characters. De Huang Dog and Yan Chenyu didn't speak. They knew what Jiang Chen was thinking and the regret in Jiang Chen's heart. He was a sentient person, and it was precisely because of this that Jiang Chen was bestowed with a unique charm, making them willing to follow Jiang Chen. Therefore, no matter what Jiang Chen wanted to do, no matter how he wanted to deal with the grudges between him and the northern and southern dynasties, they would choose to support Jiang Chen. Nanbei Taixing suddenly had the urge to cry. He stretched out his trembling hands and received the corpses of the northern and southern dynasties, the soul crystal ball, and the monarch's sword. From this moment onwards, all the grudges between Nanbei family and Jiang Chen were written off. Furthermore, with Jiang Chen's current strength, he was no longer someone that the northern and southern dynasties could afford to provoke. It was already thanks to the blessing of the northern and southern dynasties that Nanbei family was able to survive this time. Thank you, young Master Jiang. We, Nanbei Taixing, will remember this kindness. I, Nanbei Taixing, swear to the heavens that from now on, Nanbei family will never be enemies with the great Qian Empire, nor will we be enemies with young Master Jiang. Nanbei Taixing said solemnly. Then, he led the members of Nanbei family away and disappeared from the sky above Genius Prefecture. Young Master Jiang, I, Yang Yu, represent the millions of people in the great Qian Empire to thank young Master Jiang for your kindness. Yang Yu walked to the front of Jiang Chen and bowed deeply to Jiang Chen. The higher-ups behind him also did the same. They were all high and mighty figures, but in front of Jiang Chen, they were nothing. In their hearts, the kindness that Jiang Chen had done for the great Qian Empire was higher than the heavens. It was not something that could be repaid with a mere bow. Your Majesty, you don't have to do this. Sooner or later, there will be a decision between me and the northern and southern dynasties. Today, by killing the northern and southern dynasties, I have fulfilled a long-cherished wish of mine. Jiang Chen stretched out his hand to help Yang Yu up. He was very clear that even if the great Qian Empire didn't suffer today, the decisive battle between him and the northern and southern dynasties would happen sooner or later. Brother Chen, how are your injuries? Yan Chenyu walked to the front of Jiang Chen and saw that one of Jiang Chen's arms was blown to pieces. She asked with great concern. I'm fine. My injuries can recover easily. How about you? Jiang Chen smiled and looked at Yan Chenyu. He knew that Yan Chenyu had been worrying about him during this period of time. I'm fine. My injuries aren't serious. I'm going to go into seclusion. Very soon, I will be able to break through to the immortal sovereign realm. Yan Chenyu said. Jiang Chen wasn't surprised at all that Yan Chenyu wanted to break through to the immortal sovereign realm. He and the northern and southern dynasties were already at the same level. Now that the northern and southern dynasties had broken through to the immortal sovereign realm, Yan Chenyu wouldn't be far from it. I'm also going to break through to the half-step sovereign realm. I've gained a lot from the decisive battle with the northern and southern dynasties. Killing the northern and southern dynasties is equivalent to kicking out the biggest obstacle in my path. In this way, my thoughts will be clear and I can break through to the half-step sovereign realm. Jiang Chen said. The harvest this time was indeed great. He and the northern and southern dynasties would obtain great benefits if they didn't die. De Huang, Xiao Yu and I will enter the 33rd level later. You guard the outside first. Jiang Chen said to De Huang Dog. Don't worry. De Huang Dog nodded. At this moment, 3 or 4 incomparably tyrannical chi waves suddenly drifted from the sky, arriving above Genius Prefecture in the blink of an eye. Then, 4 silhouettes appeared. The 4 of them had incomparably powerful cultivation base. The leader was an old man whose cultivation base had reached the terrifying 4th grade Great Sovereign realm. Beside him were a 3rd grade Great Sovereign and 2 2nd grade Great Sovereigns. In the entire ethereal immortal domain, apart from the immortal court, it was afraid that there wouldn't be a second power with such a powerful lineup. For God's sake, the people of the immortal court are very well informed. They know that you have returned so quickly. De Huang Dog couldn't help but curse. Not only that, they also know that their people were killed by you and me. This time, they have sent a 4th grade Great Sovereign. It seems like they are taking this matter seriously. The corner of Jiang Chen's mouth revealed a trace of a smile. If it was in the past, Jiang Chen would definitely show a worried expression when a fourth-grade great sovereign came. He would definitely turn around and run away. But now, Jiang Chen had no intention of running away. De Huang Dog's strength had reached the peak of second-grade great sovereign realm. He was only a step away from advancing to the third-grade great sovereign realm. With De Huang Dog's current cultivation base, it would be a piece of cake for him to fight against an ordinary fourth-grade great sovereign. Therefore, the 4 people sent by the immortal court couldn't pose any threat to Jiang Chen. Jiang Chen boy, hurry up and kneel to your death. Someone had already locked onto Jiang Chen and yelled furiously. Not good. It's the people of the immortal court. What a powerful expert. Motherfucker. This immortal court is really relentless. They are going all out against young Master Jiang. This is bad. The opponent's strength is too strong. Not to mention that young Master Jiang is seriously injured. I'm afraid that he won't be a match for them even if he's in his peak state. For a moment, the crowd of Great Qian Empire became restless again. Each of their faces revealed a worried expression. After all, the opponent was too strong. They couldn't help but worry. Chapter 2007. Before the first wave subsided, another wave rose. This wave was much more powerful than the previous one. Jiang Chen could kill the northern and southern dynasties, but he couldn't deal with the immortal court. Now that a fourth-grade great sovereign had appeared, the people of Great Qian Empire knew that the grudge between Jiang Chen and the immortal court would never end until one of them was dead. The immortal court had always wanted to kill Jiang Chen, but they couldn't find a chance to do so. Now that Jiang Chen had finally shown up, the immortal court wouldn't give Jiang Chen any chance to escape. That's why they sent a fourth-grade great sovereign to kill Jiang Chen. De Huang, I'll leave this to you. Don't disturb me and Xiao Yu's advancement. Jiang Chen said to De Huang Dog. Don't worry, they're just a bunch of clowns. De Huang Dog didn't care at all. If it was in the past, he might be worried about a fourth-grade great sovereign. But now, a fourth-grade great sovereign was nothing in his eyes. Moreover, the fourth-grade great sovereign in front of him had just advanced to the fourth-grade great sovereign realm. De Huang Dog's cultivation base was already at the peak of second-grade great sovereign realm, and he could advance to the third-grade great sovereign realm any time. Therefore, even though it was difficult for De Huang Dog to kill a fourth-grade great sovereign, he had no problem suppressing a fifth-grade great sovereign. Unless a fifth-grade great sovereign like Feng Jingyang appeared, only then could De Huang Dog be suppressed. Xiao Yu, let's go. Jiang Chen tore a hole in the Zulong Tower and entered the 33rd floor with Yan Chenyu. With their current state, they could complete their advancement within an hour after entering the Zulong Tower. Seeing Jiang Chen and Yan Chenyu suddenly disappear, the great sovereigns of the immortal court's facial expression changed drastically. The third-grade great sovereign didn't say anything and stretched out his hand to grab the place where Jiang Chen disappeared. In their opinion, Jiang Chen was planning to escape. This time they came prepared. Their goal was to kill Jiang Chen. How could they give him the chance to escape? Therefore, the third-grade great sovereign decisively took action and sealed the entire void. De Huang Dog moved. His dog head flickered with golden light and slammed into the giant palm formed by the third-grade great sovereign. Rumble. The heavens and earth shook. The void in that area was instantly shattered. At the same time, the giant palm was also shattered. The powerful attack of a third-grade great sovereign was easily blocked by De Huang Dog. Everyone was amazed. Amazing! De Huang Dog is getting more and more terrifying. Looks like our previous worries were unnecessary. That's right. Previously, we were still worried if Jiang Chen was a match for the northern and southern dynasties. However, we neglected the terrifying strength of De Huang Dog. I'm afraid that the northern and southern dynasties are no match for him. Let's see. Jiang Chen must have gone into seclusion to cultivate. I wonder if De Huang Dog can withstand the great sovereigns of the immortal court. What a powerful dog. De Huang Dog's attack immediately attracted the attention of the experts of the immortal court. This dog's hands are also stained with the blood of our immortal court. Let's kill him first. I have sealed the entire void here. Jiang Chen won't be able to escape. The fourth-grade great sovereign said. His tone was incomparably confident. It seemed like he was certain that he could defeat Jiang Chen and De Huang Dog. He had already made sufficient preparations before coming here. This dog is already a second-grade demon sovereign. Let me kill him. The third-grade great sovereign who attacked earlier shook his chi and lunged at De Huang Dog again. De Huang Dog grew a pair of wings on his back. He turned into a ray of lightning and soared to the sky. An unparalleled might of a great sovereign was unleashed. His eyes sparkled with golden light. His entire body was filled with a majestic aura. A third-grade great sovereign was nothing in his eyes. Damned dog, how dare you go against the immortal court again and again, killing our geniuses and elders. Today I will make you pay with your blood. The third-grade great sovereign said in an incomparably domineering manner. His murderous intent soared to the sky. It seemed like he was certain that he could defeat De Huang Dog. After all, he was a third-grade great sovereign. His powerful cultivation base had given him great confidence. With such confidence, he did not put De Huang Dog in his eyes at all. Unfortunately, those who underestimated De Huang Dog had always ended up in a miserable state. This third-grade great sovereign was no exception. Go to hell. De Huang Dog flapped his wings without saying a word. His majestic body instantly turned into a ray of dazzling golden light. Lightning flashed on his head. The dragon horn on his glabella flickered as he lunged towards the third-grade great sovereign. De Huang Dog's speed was too fast. He arrived in front of his opponent in the blink of an eye. You're courting death. The third-grade great sovereign stretched out his big hand and slapped De Huang Dog's head. Obviously, this third-grade great sovereign did not know the true terror of De Huang Dog. Just like the others, he thought that De Huang Dog was stupid enough to attack with his head. Whether it was a human or a demon beast, the head was the most vulnerable part. Attacking with one's head was no different from courting death. Hong. The third-grade great sovereign's palm fiercely slapped De Huang Dog's head. It should be said that De Huang Dog's head slammed into the third-grade great sovereign's palm, because the result was very miserable. The violent energy tore the void apart. Under the impact of De Huang Dog's head, the third-grade great sovereign's arm was shattered and turned into a mist of blood. What? The third-grade great sovereign's facial expression changed drastically. He exclaimed as he felt the intense pain from his broken arm. He looked at De Huang Dog as if he was looking at a ghost. For a great sovereign, losing an arm wasn't a serious injury. It wasn't difficult for a great sovereign to regrow an arm. However, the shock in his heart had reached an extreme point. It was too shocking. He had never seen such a mighty head. More importantly, he was a third-grade great sovereign. A dignified third-grade great sovereign was no match for a second-grade demon sovereign. Not only was he not a match for the third-grade great sovereign, he couldn't even withstand a single blow from the third-grade great sovereign. Oh my god, this dog's head is really heaven-defying. Have you guys forgotten that De Huang Dog's strongest point is his head? It's like a divine weapon. However, I have never imagined that even a third-grade great sovereign couldn't defeat him. He's getting more and more powerful. With De Huang Dog here, it seems like it'll be difficult for the immortal court to kill Jiang Chen today. The people of the Great Qian Empire exclaimed. However, their emotions were different from the people of the immortal court. They were incomparably excited and pleased. Kaka, after gaining the upper hand, Big Yellow laughed maniacally and attacked again at the speed of lightning, not giving his opponent any chance to react at all. The dog head, which was shining brightly, once again shot toward his opponent like a rocket. I don't believe it. The third-grade great sovereign was infuriated. A combat sword appeared in his hand and he slashed at De Huang Dog's head. Chapter 2008. Facing the attack of the third-grade great sovereign's sovereign weapon, De Huang Dog grinned. There was no longer any fear on his face, but excitement. De Huang Dog didn't even change his attacking method when facing his opponent's combat sword. He was still using his invincible dog head to ram his way forward, which was very frightening. Countless spectators couldn't help but grin, guessing how hard this dog's head was. Putting aside the fact that it had to withstand the opponent's fist, now it had to withstand the opponent's combat sword. One should know that it was a sovereign weapon. No one knew how terrifying De Huang Dog's head was. As a matter of fact, De Huang Dog's head itself was a divine weapon. As his cultivation base continued to increase, his head became more and more terrifying. To put it bluntly, De Huang Dog's head was much more powerful than any ordinary great sovereign weapon. At least, it was more powerful than the third-grade great sovereign's combat sword. There was no doubt about it. Moreover, De Huang Dog's head shone brighter after this collision. The dragon horn on his head stretched out, flickering with crackling lightning. Wherever it passed, the void would shatter. Clang! Under the gaze of countless people, De Huang Dog's head collided with the sovereign weapon's combat sword. A shocking scene appeared once again. The unparalleled sovereign weapon didn't leave a scratch on the dog's head. Instead, it couldn't withstand the impact of the dog's head. The combat sword flew out of the third-grade Great Sovereign's hand. That wasn't all. The combat sword was sent flying, and the third-grade Great Sovereign's remaining hand that was holding the sword was almost shattered, blood spurting out from his mouth. Bang! De Huang Dog struck again with lightning speed, not giving his opponent any chance to react. This time, the dog's head collided with the third-grade Great Sovereign's head. The consequences were imaginable. The poor third-grade Great Sovereign didn't even have the time to scream before he was killed by De Huang Dog. Hua! Countless uproars were heard. Whether it was the people of the Great Qian Empire or the Immortal Court, all of them widened their eyes. The scene just now was like a dream. It was too shocking. Bastard! The fourth-grade Great Sovereign couldn't help but curse. Endless anger gushed out from his body. He was both shocked and furious. He was shocked because he had never thought that this dog would be this terrifying. One should know that the dog was a third-grade Great Sovereign of the Immortal Court. What kind of concept was a third-grade Great Sovereign? Even if he couldn't defeat the dog, it wouldn't be a problem to escape. Who would have thought that a third-grade Great Sovereign wouldn't even have the chance to escape? He was infuriated because he saw a third-grade Great Sovereign being killed right in front of his eyes. He didn't even have the chance to help. This dog was too fast. So fast that he didn't even have the chance to react. As a matter of fact, there was a huge gap between the third-grade Great Sovereign and Big Yellow. It was normal for the third-grade Great Sovereign to be killed by him. Of the third-grade Great Sovereign was third-grade the Great Sovereign's death. Third-grade Sovereign. Dog's Sovereign. If he didn't underestimate his enemy, the third-grade Great Sovereign wouldn't have died so easily. If the third-grade Great Sovereign didn't put De Huang Dog in his eyes and chose not to fight against De Huang Dog, it wouldn't be hard for him to keep his life. Similarly, if the fourth-grade Great Sovereign wasn't too confident in the experts of the Immortal Court, and didn't look down on De Huang Dog, he wouldn't have had the chance to help. Elder Fong. This dog is too powerful. It's not easy to deal with him. A second-grade Great Sovereign said with an extremely ugly expression. When they first arrived, they were in high spirits and didn't put Jiang Chen and De Huang Dog in their eyes. But now, all of their confidence was shattered. Even a third-grade Great Sovereign was instantly killed by De Huang Dog, let alone him. With his second-grade Great Sovereign cultivation base, he wouldn't be able to survive if he were to rush forward. Let me kill him. Elder Fong's expression was gloomy. He took a step forward and stood opposite of De Huang Dog. At this moment, other than anger, Elder Fong was also feeling a little regretful. He regretted letting the third-grade Great Sovereign take action himself. Otherwise, he wouldn't have suffered such a huge loss. One should know that the Immortal Court had spent countless resources to nurture a third-grade Great Sovereign. The death of a third-grade Great Sovereign was an unimaginable loss. Damned dog, you will pay a hefty price for what you have done, Elder Fong said. Price? What price? Do you think you can kill Master Dog? I'll let you have a taste of Master Dog's invincible universe-enchanting fart. De Huang Dog said and turned his body, aiming his fat butt at Elder Fong. Elder Fong's eyes widened when he saw De Huang Dog's action. He was dumbfounded. But shortly after, Elder Fong was enraged. In his point of view, Big Yellow's action of raising his butt high up to face him was a humiliation. A serious humiliation. What the hell is De Huang doing? Yeah, what kind of move is that? Can't you tell? De Huang is humiliating his opponent. It's not a move. The dog's head is already extraordinarily hard. Could it be that he can attack his butt too? That's hard to say. De Huang Dog is a weirdo. What's impossible? What a pity. If it was someone who was really familiar with Big Yellow, he or she would definitely stay far away from this dog. It was impossible for them to be like Elder Fong and stand still behind Big Yellow's butt. This was simply courting death. Just when everyone thought that Big Yellow was just humiliating Elder Fong with this action, a sudden clap of thunder came from the clear sky. Boom. Everyone was dumbfounded. They saw a mass of green air spurt out from De Huang Dog's back door. Then, it exploded and turned into countless waves of air, like a tide. Poor Elder Fong. He was completely shrouded by the green wave without any warning. Blurg. Elder Fong vomited. Fuck. Blarg. Motherfucker. Elder Fong vomited painfully and cursed loudly. This was the most painful thing in life. De Huang Dog's enchanting fart could no longer be described as invincible. It was simply heaven-defying. Heaven-defying to the point that even a fourth-grade great sovereign couldn't withstand it. Oh my god, there's such a move. Oh my, I can smell the smell of a bad sweet potato from so far away. This is terrible. A fourth-grade great sovereign's image was completely ruined by a fart. It's not easy for him to be in such a sorry state. The people of the Great Qian Empire were completely convinced. This De Huang Dog could always bring them surprises. What a pity for a fourth-grade great sovereign. Chapter 2009. Rumble. A super-strong airwave rushed out from Elder Fong's body. It carried almost all of the power of a fourth-grade great sovereign to disperse the green airflow. At this moment, Elder Fong's face was ghastly pale. There were still remnants of vomit at the corner of his mouth. He was in a sorry state. Perhaps only De Huang Dog could make a fourth-grade great sovereign lose his composure like this. Damned dog, I'm going to skin you alive. Elder Fong was enraged. His body carried a violent energy as he lunged towards Big Yellow crazily. He was really angry. What was his identity and status? He had never been humiliated like this before. It was a great humiliation. Kaka. Old man, isn't Master Dog's fart wonderful? De Huang Dog laughed. He was fearless and rushed towards Elder Fong's attack with his dog head. That fucking fart didn't cause any harm to Elder Fong. Of course, De Huang Dog didn't expect to kill a fourth-grade great sovereign with just a fart. It was unrealistic. De Huang Dog had already achieved his goal as long as he could disgust his opponent. Rumble. Once again, Big Yellow's head collided with Elder Fong's head violently. A shocking scene happened again. No one knew how hard Big Yellow's head was, but Elder Fong's fourth-grade great sovereign cultivation base couldn't hurt him at all. Of course, Elder Fong couldn't hurt De Huang Dog. It wasn't easy for De Huang Dog to hurt Elder Fong either. After all, there was a fundamental difference between a third-grade great sovereign and a fourth-grade great sovereign. Although great sovereigns were divided into 9 levels, there were also high, middle, and low levels. First-grade great sovereign to third-grade great sovereign belonged to the low level, fourth-grade to sixth-grade great sovereign belonged to the middle level, seventh-grade to ninth-grade great sovereign belonged to the high level. The leap from third-grade great sovereign to fourth-grade great sovereign was equivalent to the leap from low to high level. One could imagine the difference between them. Therefore, De Huang Dog could easily kill a third-grade great sovereign, but it was extremely difficult for him to kill a fourth-grade great sovereign. Of course, with De Huang Dog's current strength, it wouldn't be a problem for him to fight evenly with a fourth-grade great sovereign like Elder Fong. In other words, as long as De Huang Dog was here, it would be almost impossible for Elder Fong to kill Jiang Chen. Unless a powerful fifth-grade great sovereign appeared, it would be useless even if Elder Fong and the others came. In the sky, the figures of Elder Fong and De Huang Dog were intertwining with each other. They were constantly colliding and killing each other. Sparks were flying in all directions. Huge black holes appeared in the void. Horrifying airwaves kept gushing out from the black holes, causing the sky above Genius Prefecture to look like the end of the world. The people of the Great Qian Empire were dumbfounded. They had never seen such an exciting battle scene in their lives. Everyone was shocked by De Huang Dog's ferocity. Too ferocious. He's too ferocious. This dog is simply heaven-defying. Even a fourth-grade great sovereign can't do anything to him. One is more abnormal than the other. The Immortal Court has never gained any advantage in the hands of Jiang Chen and De Huang Dog. That's right. Many of their geniuses and elders have died. Just now, a third-grade great sovereign was killed by De Huang Dog. They have suffered a great loss. If Jiang Chen and De Huang Dog continue to grow without any limit, I'm afraid that the Immortal Court won't even have the chance to take revenge. They might even face a great crisis. It's not impossible. Jiang Chen has created too many miracles. When he first entered Genius Prefecture, he was just a small figure, an outer sect disciple. Who would have thought that he has grown to such an extent in such a short period of time? He has saved Great Qian Empire several times in a row. That's right. The people of Great Qian Empire sighed. When Jiang Chen was recruited by Yang Bufan into Genius Prefecture, who would have thought that the unknown outer sect disciple would have such great achievements in such a short period of time? The fierce battle continued. The battle between De Huang Dog and Elder Fong had reached its climax for half an hour, but there was still no winner. At this time, Elder Fong was showing signs of weakness, while De Huang Dog was getting more and more courageous. His qi was even stronger than before. If the battle went on like this, Elder Fong was afraid that she wouldn't be a match for De Huang Dog. How can this dog be so terrifying? We can't go on like this. We're here to kill Jiang Chen today, but Elder Fong is being obstructed by a dog. Jiang Chen is nowhere to be found, and we've lost a third-grade great sovereign. The second-grade great sovereign who had been watching the battle said gloomily. It seems like we have to do something. Another person said. What are you going to do? That person asked. Now that Elder Fong is entangled with De Huang Dog and Jiang Chen is hiding, we might as well attack the people of Great Qian Empire and force Jiang Chen out. I don't think that's a good idea. We are the people of Immortal Court after all. We represent the Immortal Court. Isn't this inappropriate? We can't care about that now. We must kill Jiang Chen today. We can't give him any more chances to grow. After a discussion, the two second-grade great sovereigns decided to attack the people of Great Qian Empire. Although it would damage the reputation and image of the Immortal Court, they had no other choice in order to force Jiang Chen out. Jiang Chen, if you don't come out, we will attack the people of Great Qian Empire. One of the second-grade great sovereigns yelled. Motherfucker! The great sovereigns of the Immortal Court are too shameless to use us to force Jiang Chen. Someone immediately cursed. The actions of the Immortal Court were indeed infuriating. It seems that Jiang Chen is determined not to come out. In that case, I will personally kill the Emperor of Great Qian Empire first. The second-grade great sovereign's face revealed a ruthless expression. His eyes instantly locked onto Yang Yu. Without giving Yang Yu any chance to react, a terrifying big hand was about to grab him. Not good. Yang Yu knew that the situation was not good. His face instantly turned incomparably pale. Under the pressure of a second-grade great sovereign, he couldn't even move his body. Just a trace of the opponent's qi was enough to completely control him. It was a gap that couldn't be bridged. Yang Yu was almost certain that as long as the big hand pressed down on him, he would definitely die. He wouldn't even have a chance to survive. Hung Long. Just when Yang Yu had fallen into despair, an explosion was heard. Then, everyone saw Jiang Chen appearing in front of them. The terrifying blood-red dragon claw accurately collided with the big hand formed by the second-grade great sovereign. Under Jiang Chen's attack, the palm that originally possessed an extremely strong offensive power was completely destroyed by Jiang Chen's attack. Chapter 2010. Deng Deng Deng. The second-grade great sovereign was affected by the powerful energy, and was forced to take a dozen steps back before he managed to stabilize his body. Barf. The second-grade great sovereign spurted out a mouthful of blood. His face instantly turned pale and ugly. He raised his head and looked at Jiang Chen. His eyes were filled with shock. It's Jiang Chen. My God. It has only been half an hour and his cultivation base has become even stronger. Half-step sovereign. Jiang Chen has advanced to the half-step sovereign realm. Isn't this speed a little too heaven-defying? Amazing. Jiang Chen is simply the incarnation of miracles. He has been creating miracles continuously. Now that Jiang Chen has advanced to the half-step sovereign realm, these two second-grade great sovereigns are no match for Jiang Chen. The people of the Great Qian Empire were excited again. Jiang Chen had just annihilated the northern and southern dynasties. In less than half an hour, Jiang Chen's cultivation base had already advanced to the half-step sovereign realm. If they didn't see it with their own eyes, they wouldn't believe it even if they were beaten to death. Look, Lady Yan has also advanced to the great sovereign realm. Yeah. Lady Yan is the reincarnation of Empress Nine Yin. She's in existence on the same level as the northern and southern dynasties. It's no surprise that she has advanced to the great sovereign realm. It's our Great Qian Empire's fortune to be able to befriend Jiang Chen and Lady Yan. The people of the Great Qian Empire who had survived the calamity worshipped Jiang Chen and Yan Chenyu like gods. In the hearts of the people of the Great Qian Empire, Jiang Chen and Yan Chenyu were unsurpassable. Yang Yu secretly wiped off his cold sweat. His eyes were filled with endless gratitude when he looked at Jiang Chen. The situation just now was too dangerous. If it wasn't for Jiang Chen's sudden appearance, he would have died for sure. Now, he felt like he had just passed by the gates of hell, and he still had lingering fears. "The two of you, don't attack Jiang Chen. That brat has already become a half-martial emperor. You two are no match for him." Seeing Jiang Chen appear, Elder Fong, who was fighting with the Huang dog, hurriedly reminded him loudly. Elder Fong made the best choice by reminding Jiang Chen at this moment. The current situation was very obvious. After Jiang Chen advanced to the half-step sovereign realm, he was an existence that no one could fight against. At least, he wasn't someone that the two second-grade great sovereigns could fight against. If the two second-grade great sovereigns wanted to kill Jiang Chen, they would only be killed by Jiang Chen in an instant. There was no doubt about that. At that moment, Elder Fong's expression was extremely ugly. He had volunteered to kill Jiang Chen and a Huang dog this time. He had thought that it would be a done deal, but he had not expected such an unforeseen event to occur. Both of them were more terrifying than the other. Even if he were to take action, he could not even deal with a dog. A talisman appeared in Elder Fong's hand and was instantly crushed by him. That was a signaling talisman. Elder Fong had begun to ask for help from even more terrifying experts in the immortal world. At this moment, the only thing he could do was to ask for help. A fourth-grade great sovereign was completely useless against Jiang Chen and a Huang dog. Brother Jiang Chen, the elder of the immortal court, has begun to call for more powerful experts. "You and a Huang should leave this place quickly," said Yang Yu hastily. He had already predicted today's situation. The grudge between the immortal court and Jiang Chen was too deep. It wasn't easy for them to find out that Jiang Chen had appeared. The immortal court would never let go of this opportunity to kill Jiang Chen. After all, Jiang Chen's growth was too fast. If he wasn't killed as soon as possible, there would be endless troubles in the future. Even the current Jiang Chen had become a disaster. From Yang Yu's point of view, although Jiang Chen and a Huang dog were terrifying, they were only a half-step sovereign and a second-grade demon sovereign respectively. Such strength was nothing to the immortal court. If a fifth-grade great sovereign appeared in the immortal court, Jiang Chen wouldn't be able to leave even if he wanted to. "Don't worry, Your Majesty. The grudge between me and the immortal court will be settled sooner or later. If I leave now, the immortal court will definitely vent their anger on Great Qian Empire. At that time, they might use Great Qian Empire to threaten me, just like how the northern and southern dynasties did. In that case, it's better to settle this once and for all." Jiang Chen spoke. In the past, he wasn't worried that the immortal court would attack Great Qian Empire. After all, the immortal court also cared about their reputation. However, the second-grade great sovereign who wanted to kill the emperor of Great Qian Empire had made Jiang Chen understand the immortal court's determination to kill him. In order to get rid of him, the immortal court might disregard his dignity and reputation. In that case, Great Qian Empire would suffer a disaster because of him. This wasn't something that Jiang Chen wanted to see. Instead of that, it was better to settle this once and for all. The immortal court would definitely send out more powerful figures later. Jiang Chen didn't know how to deal with them, but he used the great divination art to predict that there would be a great turning point today. Therefore, he might as well make use of this opportunity to make a decision with the immortal court. No matter what the final result would be, at least he and Great Qian Empire would be separated. Now that the northern and southern dynasties were dead, Nanbei family could be considered to have gone into hiding. As long as the immortal court didn't take action, Great Qian Empire would stand alone in East Xuanyu without any danger. Little Chunzi. Yang Bufan came to Jiang Chen's side. He wanted to say something, but was stopped by Jiang Chen with a wave of his hand. "King Fan, there's no need to say anything. I have already made up my mind. You and I are brothers. There's no need to be polite." "Eh." Yang Bufan let out a sigh and no longer spoke. He knew Jiang Chen's character too well. Since he had already made up his mind, Jiang Chen would never change his mind. Yang Bufan knew that everyone in Great Qian Empire knew that Jiang Chen could choose to leave at this moment, but he didn't. All of this was for Great Qian Empire. Yang Bufan felt that it was worth it to have such a brother in his life. Not long after that, a figure appeared in the sky above Genius Prefecture like a gust of wind. It was an old man who seemed to be in his 60s. His black beard was very long, fluttering in the wind. He was wearing a white robe, giving off the feeling of an immortal. As soon as the old man appeared, the entire Genius Prefecture felt a strong pressure. Countless gazes looked over and landed on the old man. Fifth-grade great sovereign. Jiang Chen thought to himself. This old man didn't look like a simple character. He was actually in existence at the same level as Feng Jingyang. Jiang Chen and a Huang dog couldn't fight against an expert of this level. Even a 5th grade great sovereign has come. What should we do next? AI. This is really worrying. Offending the immortal court isn't a joke. There are too many great sovereigns in the immortal court. I hope Jiang Chen can turn misfortune into fortune. The emergence of a 5th grade great sovereign had caused everyone to worry. The situation had become tense again. Seeing the arrival of the old man, Elder Feng immediately left a Huang dog and approached the old man. Chapter 2011. Elder Wu, this dog is too powerful. He has already killed one of our 3rd grade great sovereigns. Even I am no match for him. I have no choice but to ask Elder Wu for help. Elder Feng clasped his fists and said. He couldn't help but blush when he said that he was no match for Jiang Chen. This was an incomparably shameful thing to say, but there was nothing he could do about it because it was the truth. And I know. Elder Wu nodded, looking rather indifferent. His name was Wu Yuanyang. He had a great reputation in the immortal court. He was high and mighty. Wu Yuanyang's gaze fell onto Huang Dog and Jiang Chen. His eyes were a little cold, almost without concealing his killing intent. Jiang Chen, follow me obediently to the immortal court to receive your punishment. I don't want to get involved in this. Wu Yuanyang said faintly. He looked down from above, judging everyone with the attitude of a superior. From his point of view, the fate of Jiang Chen and a Huang Dog was completely in his hands. There was no room for them to resist. It was already a great honor for Jiang Chen and a Huang Dog to have him personally come forward. After listening to Wu Yuanyang's words, Jiang Chen couldn't help but sneer. Kid, what are you laughing at? Wu Yuanyang looked at Jiang Chen. I'm laughing at your strong sense of superiority. Your immortal court has always put yourself high and mighty, but in the eyes of Jiang Chen, you guys are nothing. The enmity between us started in the Golden Horizon. But at that time, when your geniuses wanted to kill me, am I not allowed to resist? Do you think that only the lives of the people of the immortal court are important and my life isn't? There is no such logic in the immortal world. I naturally have to resist when you guys want to kill me. You guys failed to kill me and were killed by me instead. This only shows that you guys are not strong enough. Jiang Chen said loudly. Even though he was facing a 5th grade great sovereign, he wasn't afraid at all. Brat, I'm not here to listen to your excuses and nonsense. I don't like people who haggle. I'll give you one last chance. Do you choose to go to the immortal court with me and accept your punishment, or die in my hands immediately? It's your choice. Wu Yuanyang said in an incomparably domineering manner. Given his status, he wouldn't even bother to deal with a half-step sovereign. If it wasn't because Jiang Chen and a Huang Dog were too difficult to deal with, he wouldn't have appeared here. Choice? I, Jiang Chen, have no choice. My life is in my own hands. I will not be manipulated by the immortal court. Even if you are a 5th grade great sovereign, I will still fight with my life. Jiang Chen's tone was calm, but there was an unshakable determination in it. The immortal court had made a mistake by trying to manipulate and control Jiang Chen's fate. Kid, since you refuse a toast only to be forced to drink a forfeit, then I won't be courteous. Wu Yuanyang didn't want to waste any more of his breath. A strong wave of qi was unleashed from his body, carrying the strong aura of a great sovereign. Suddenly, he reached out a huge palm, which immediately turned into a peerless cage, shrouding Jiang Chen. This was a prison created by a 5th grade great sovereign. It could even trap the void, let alone a half-step sovereign like Jiang Chen. That was an unparalleled power. With Jiang Chen's current strength, even if he were to use his dragon transformation, he wouldn't be able to withstand it at all. Rumble. At this moment, another huge hand appeared in the void. This time, it was a scarlet golden hand. It struck the cage that Wu Yuanyang had conjured and destroyed it completely. Jiang Chen heaved a sigh of relief. He'd used the great divination art to predict that there would be a turn for the better today. That was why he'd chosen to confront Wu Yuanyang. Who's there? Wu Yuanyang yelled. His expression changed slightly. To be able to appear here without a sound and destroy his attack in one move, the newcomer must be a powerful figure. Wu Yuanyang, have you discussed this with me, Feng Jingyang, before you punish my disciple? A voice as loud as a bell rang out from the void. After that, a tall and sturdy middle-aged man walked out of the void as if he was taking a stroll in a park. In the blink of an eye, He was already in front of Jiang Chen. The newcomers bearing an aura were not any weaker than Wu Yuanyang. He might even be stronger than Wu Yuanyang. Master. Jiang Chen hastily cupped his fists when he saw the newcomer. The newcomer was none other than the hall master of the Dragon Hall, Feng Jingyang. Feng Jingyang nodded. He was worried about Jiang Chen coming alone this time because he'd already known about the grudge between Jiang Chen and the three immortal courts. He was sure that the immortal courts would take action. That's why he hurried over. Coincidentally, Wu Yuanyang was about to kill Jiang Chen. Feng Jingyang naturally had to take action given his protective nature. Who is this? I think he's Jiang Chen's master. He's so powerful. He's also a powerful 5th grade great sovereign. Motherfucker. There are more and more experts here. I've never seen so many experts in my life. No wonder Jiang Chen chose to stay. He doesn't even care about a 5th grade great sovereign. It turns out that he has such a powerful backer. I wonder where Jiang Chen has been all this time. The people of the Great Qian Empire couldn't help but be shocked by Feng Jingyang's appearance. At the same time, they heaved a sigh of relief. It would be extremely difficult for the immortal courts to kill Jiang Chen now that he had such a powerful backer and helper. Feng Jingyang, this is the grudge between the immortal courts and Jiang Chen. I advise you not to get involved. Wu Yuanyang said with a frown. Feng Jingyang wasn't someone to be trifled with. His fiery temper was well known in the immortal world. No one would be willing to provoke Feng Jingyang, even if they were at the same level. Get involved? Jiang Chen is my disciple. A genius disciple of the Feng Qi Immortal Court's Dragon Hall. You can punish him as you wish. Who gave you the right to do so? Are you looking down on the Feng Qi Immortal Court? Feng Jingyang harumphed coldly. He was standing here today. If anyone dared to hurt Jiang Chen, he would lose his position as the hallmaster of the Dragon Hall. He would also lose his reputation. Feng Jingyang, are you sure you want to get into a conflict with the three immortal courts just for a mere Jiang Chen? Wu Yuanyang said while gritting his teeth. He already knew that Jiang Chen had joined the Feng Qi Immortal Court, but he had never thought that Jiang Chen would receive such great attention. Even Feng Jingyang had to personally come and protect him. Wu Yuanyang wanted to take action immediately, but he knew that Feng Jingyang wasn't an easy opponent. Even if there were two of him, it would be a miracle if they could fight against Feng Jingyang. So what if it's not a good thing? Let me tell you, Wu Yuanyang. Whoever dares to touch my disciple, I will kill him. Chapter 2012. What the fuck? Awesome. Jiang Chen's master is really hot-tempered. Haha. He's as awesome as Senior Xiao Wangqing. It turns out that Jiang Chen has joined the immortal court of Feng Qi Immortal Domain. He's a great backer. With him here today, I'm afraid it'll be extremely difficult for Wu Yuanyang to kill Jiang Chen. Let's see. With Feng Qi Immortal Court as his backer, Jiang Chen won't be that easy to kill. We don't need to worry at all. We can just stand here and watch the show. Feng Jingyang's tyrannical strength had almost blinded the eyes of the people of Great Qian Empire. Wasn't he a little too overbearing? Like disciple, like master. Now that he had such a powerful master protecting him, it would be difficult for anyone to touch Jiang Chen. Jiang Chen, who was standing beside Feng Jingyang, grinned. This was the first time he saw Feng Jingyang's overbearing strength. He had to admit that Jiang Chen really liked Feng Jingyang's character. Moreover, Feng Jingyang stood out to protect him at such a crucial moment. This filled Jiang Chen's heart with endless gratitude. This alone was enough to show that Feng Jingyang had truly treated him as one of his own. Feng Jingyang, you're talking big. Can you stop us if we want to kill Jiang Chen today? At this moment, another tyrannical qi wave appeared from afar. Needless to say, another powerful expert had arrived. A total of 7 to 8 figures appeared out of thin air. These people were obviously divided into two camps. There were two 5th grade great sovereigns among them. Mi Luo Immortal Court's Huang Qingzhong, Radiance Immortal Domain's Li Shangyun. So many of you have joined forces to bully my disciple. Don't you have any shame? Feng Jingyang looked at the newcomers and said snappily. Even though there were 3 5th grade great sovereigns, Feng Jingyang's face didn't show the slightest bit of fear. There weren't many people in this world that could make him afraid. Motherfucker! The experts of Mi Luo Immortal Court and Radiance Immortal Court are here too. They want to kill Jiang Chen. With so many great sovereigns, the situation is going to be out of control. Since the establishment of our genius prefecture, there has never been so many experts. Today's scene is enough to be recorded in the history of Great Qian Empire. There are too many experts, and all of them have come for Jiang Chen. I wonder how Feng Jingyang will deal with them. With the arrival of the experts of the Mi Luo Immortal Court and the Radiance Immortal Court, the situation that had just eased up immediately became extremely tense. Worry once again emerged in the hearts of the people. Today was destined to be an unprecedented drama. As for what would happen next, no one dared to predict. Based on the changes in the current situation, anything could happen next. It was even possible that more experts would appear. With so many great emperors, it was extremely difficult to even see one on a normal day. Now that there were so many great emperors, they felt numb. Feng Jingyang, Jiang Chen must die today. None of us from the 3 immortal courts will be able to save him, Li Shangyun said domineeringly as soon as he appeared. Although Huang Qingzhong didn't say anything, his unyielding attitude had made everything clear. None of the experts that they had sent to the demonic immortal island had returned, and all of this was related to Jiang Chen. If Jiang Chen was hiding in the Feng Qi immortal court, they might not be able to do anything to him. After all, no matter how powerful they were, they couldn't just go to the Feng Qi immortal court to ask for him. Coincidentally, Jiang Chen had appeared in eastern Xuanyu at this time, and even waged a duel with the northern and southern dynasties. It would be hard for people not to know about it. To the 3 major powers, this was a great opportunity to eliminate Jiang Chen. They had no reason to miss it, and they would never miss it. What a joke. With me here, no one can hurt Jiang Chen. Why don't the 3 of you join forces and give it a try? Feng Jingyang's qi was unparalleled. He was a ferocious madman. Judging from his appearance, he would start a fight at the slightest disagreement. 1 against 3. This reminded Jiang Chen of the scene where Xiao Wangqing fought against Li Wangye. History was always shockingly similar, but the characters that appeared were completely different. Xiao Wangqing and Li Wangye were only half-step sovereigns back then, but Feng Jingyang was far beyond their reach. Feng Jingyang, do you really want to fight? Huang Qingzhong said sternly. Let's fight then. I'm not afraid of you. A powerful airwave instantly surged out from Feng Jingyang's body, carrying boundless violent battle intent. It seemed like Feng Jingyang wouldn't be afraid even if he had to fight 3 against 1. Then let me see how powerful the legendary Feng Jingyang is. Li Shangyun was also a hot-tempered person. Murderous intent surged from his body as he charged towards Feng Jingyang. On the other side, Huang Qingzhong and Wu Yuanyang also made their move. The 3 of them joined forces and attacked Feng Jingyang from 3 different directions. As the saying goes, a person's reputation is like a tree's shadow. Feng Jingyang's name was known throughout the immortal world. The 3 of them knew that Feng Jingyang wasn't easy to deal with, so they chose to fight 3 against 1. Their goal was simple, to end the battle as soon as possible and eliminate Jiang Chen. 1 against 3. Why would I, Feng Jingyang, be afraid? Feng Jingyang was boundlessly violent. He immediately struck out magical images. Every image was like a world, carrying the power of the world, colliding with the 3 experts. Rumble. It was merely the first collision, but the void was completely destroyed. There had been too many battles today, and each one was more powerful than the last. As a result, countless cracks had appeared in the void above Genius Prefecture. It would take a few days for the cracks to recover. Countless gazes were looking at the sky. Feng Jingyang was fighting 3 against 1, yet he was not at a disadvantage at all. Feng Jingyang is really powerful. He's not at a disadvantage even when fighting 3 alone. De Huang Dog clicked his tongue. Jiang Chen was also infuriated. He had never seen Feng Jingyang fight before, so he did not expect Feng Jingyang to be this powerful. However, from the scene of the 3 experts attacking together, Li Shangyun and the others must have known how powerful Feng Jingyang was. That was why they chose to fight 3 against 1 without any hesitation. They did not even care about their reputation. The violent battle waves came one after another. The battle had just begun, but it had already become extremely intense. It seemed that it was almost impossible to determine the outcome of the battle between the 4 of them in a short period of time. Although Feng Jingyang could fight 3 against 1, it was precisely because of this that he had lost the possibility of winning. At most, he could only fight to a draw. The 2 of you, block Feng Jingyang. I'll go kill Jiang Chen. Wu Yuanyang suddenly retreated from the battlefield and shouted at Li Shangyun and Huang Qingzhong. Then he charged towards Jiang Chen. Chapter 2013. Wu Yuanyang left the battlefield. Without any hesitation, he immediately launched a powerful attack towards Jiang Chen. Feng Jingyang's appearance showed them that Jiang Chen had a powerful backer, and also let them know that if they couldn't kill Jiang Chen today, it would be even more impossible to kill Jiang Chen in the future. Jiang Chen frowned. Wu Yuanyang was a 5th-grade great sovereign. With his current strength of a half-step sovereign, there was no way he could fight against Wu Yuanyang. Even with the help of De Huang Dog, they were still no match for Wu Yuanyang. Although Feng Jingyang was powerful, he was entangled by the other 2 5th-grade great sovereigns. Even if he had 3 heads and 6 arms, he wouldn't be able to help Jian Wushuang. Just when Jiang Chen was about to enter the Zulong Tower helplessly, a gust of wind was set off in the void. Then, a giant palm as large as the sky appeared. Rather than a palm, it was more like a sharp claw of a demon beast. The sharp claw had a radius of 100 zhong, as if a piece of heaven and earth was pressing down. Its imposing manner was too terrifying. No one knew how much energy this giant claw contained, enough to topple the mountains and overturn the seas, enough to crush everything in the heavens and earth. Boom! The moment the giant palm appeared, Wu Yuanyang's attack was completely destroyed. Countless people felt an enormous pressure. That was an extremely overbearing pressure, making them feel incomparably uncomfortable. Even Feng Jingyang and the other 2 who were fighting fiercely couldn't help but stop their movements. Their facial expression changed drastically. As a 5th-grade great sovereign, they had more experience than ordinary people. They knew that another powerful expert had appeared. This time, the person who appeared was much stronger than them. There were less than 20 people in the immortal world who possessed such a cultivation base. Needless to say, they were all 6th-grade great sovereigns, because those who surpassed the 6th-grade great sovereigns had already gone to the sovereign domain. Feng Jingyang and the other 2 were already feeling such enormous pressure, let alone Wu Yuanyang who bore the brunt of it. At this moment, Wu Yuanyang was completely shrouded by the sky-high giant claw. He felt like he had fallen into a prison of the heavens and earth. Even with his strength of a 5th-grade great sovereign, he couldn't move at all. Afterwards, under countless gazes, a mighty middle-aged man walked out. The man was dressed in gray feathered robes, and his face was filled with a domineering aura that made people not dare to look at him directly. Who is this? He's too strong. A 5th-grade great sovereign couldn't even move in his hands. There are more and more experts. I'm already completely numb to it. Jiang Chen has already far surpassed our imagination. The people he comes into contact with are even more beyond our imagination. This expert is obviously here to help Jiang Chen. There was Feng Jingyang, and now there's an even more powerful existence. Jiang Chen's backing is getting stronger and stronger. The people of the Great Qian Empire felt suffocated. Jiang Chen had brought too many miracles, one after another. They were already numb to such miracles. Even if a bigger miracle were to appear, they wouldn't be too shocked. Big brother. Jiang Chen's face revealed a bright smile when he saw the newcomer. He knew that with this person's arrival, all the problems would be easily solved. The person who came was none other than the famous Tianpeng Evil Emperor of the immortal world. Tianpeng Evil Emperor nodded at Jiang Chen, then shifted his gaze to Wu Yuanyang, Li Shangyun and Huang Qingzhong who were under his control. It's Tianpeng Evil Emperor. He actually came to help Jiang Chen. Wu Yuanyang and the other 2's facial expression turned extremely ugly. If Feng Jingyang could still fight against him, then they were completely helpless against Tianpeng Evil Emperor. As for why Tianpeng Evil Emperor would help Jiang Chen, they knew it very well. Although the people of the Immortal Court had been annihilated, they had already found out everything that had happened in the demonic Immortal Island. The biggest news and focus in the demonic Immortal Island was undoubtedly the sworn brother relationship between Jiang Chen and Tianpeng Evil Emperor. They had never believed and were unwilling to accept this fact. After all, who was Heavenly Peng Demon Sovereign? Why would Jiang Chen become sworn brothers with him? This was simply absurd. Heavenly Peng Demon Sovereign, Jiang Chen? But now, it seemed that Tianpeng Evil Emperor, who rarely left the ocean, had personally appeared in Genius Prefecture to help Jiang Chen. This was enough to prove that the relationship between Jiang Chen and Tianpeng Evil Emperor wasn't ordinary. Humph! Tianpeng Evil Emperor harumphed coldly and withdrew his huge sharp claw. Wu Yuanyang staggered and almost fell from the sky due to the powerful impact. How dare you kill the sworn brother of I, Tianpeng Evil Emperor? Tianpeng Evil Emperor Lang Lang said, not putting Wu Yuanyang and the other two in his eyes. Let alone them. As long as Tianpeng Evil Emperor was in a bad mood, he wouldn't give face even if the three sovereign lords of the immortal courts came personally, let alone the three of them. Feng Jingyang, who was standing not far away, heaved a sigh of relief. A smile emerged on his face. He naturally knew that Jiang Chen and Tianpeng Evil Emperor were sworn brothers. Yu Huafan had already told him everything that had happened in the demonic immortal island. In the beginning, Feng Jingyang thought that Tianpeng Evil Emperor was just putting on a show. But now, it seemed that Tianpeng Evil Emperor really valued Jiang Chen. His attitude towards Wu Yuanyang and the other two was enough to explain everything. I'm Feng Jingyang of Fengqi Immortal Court. Greetings, Demon Sovereign. Feng Jingyang walked forward and clasped his fists at Tianpeng Evil Emperor. There weren't many people that he respected in the immortal world. Tianpeng Evil Emperor happened to be one of them. However, when Feng Jingyang introduced himself, he didn't mention that he was Jiang Chen's master. After all, the Demon Sovereign was Jiang Chen's sworn brother. Even if he was Jiang Chen's master, he couldn't say it out loud in front of the Demon Sovereign. It would mess up the seniority, and he would be taking advantage of Tianpeng Evil Emperor. Feng Jingyang, I've heard of you. Not bad. Judging from your cultivation base, it won't take long for you to advance to the 6th grade Great Sovereign. Tianpeng Evil Emperor nodded at Feng Jingyang. Knowing that Feng Jingyang was here to help Jiang Chen, Tianpeng Evil Emperor's attitude towards Feng Jingyang was very good. Demon Sovereign, the grudge between Jiang Chen and the three immortal courts is deep-rooted. Since you're here today, why don't you help Jiang Chen and the three immortal courts to settle it once and for all? Feng Jingyang said. He knew that the only person who could resolve the grudge between Jiang Chen and the three immortal courts was probably Tianpeng Evil Emperor. Even Star Sovereign might not be able to do it. The sovereign lords of the three immortal courts might not give Star Sovereign face, but they would definitely give Tianpeng Evil Emperor face. Demon Sovereign, Jiang Chen has killed many people of our three immortal courts. If we don't take revenge for this, our three immortal courts will lose their face. I hope Demon Sovereign won't get involved in this. Wu Yuanyang said to Tianpeng Evil Emperor, not daring to be negligent. Chapter 2014. After listening to Wu Yuanyang's words, Tianpeng Evil Emperor harumphed coldly and looked at Wu Yuanyang with eyes full of disgust. The face of your immortal courts? Is the face of me, Tianpeng Evil Emperor, not a face? Jiang Chen is the sworn brother of I, Heavenly Peng Demon Sovereign. Anyone who wants to kill him will be going against me. Not to mention the three of you, even if your sovereign lord comes here personally, he will have to give me some face. In this immortal world, no one dares to kill my brother. Heavenly Peng Demon Sovereign said. Tianpeng Evil Emperor's attitude was incomparably domineering. He didn't give any face to the three immortal courts. Tianpeng Evil Emperor was a hot-tempered man. He only cared about friendship. He didn't care about things that had nothing to do with him. Tianpeng Evil Emperor treated Jiang Chen wholeheartedly. The reason was very simple. Apart from having similar interests with Jiang Chen, it was also because of Jiang Chen's identity, the successor of Void Sovereign. How could Tianpeng Evil Emperor let the successor of his benefactor die? He would protect Jiang Chen even at the cost of his own life. Kid, did you see that? This is your biggest gain from the demonic immortal island. De Huang Dog said in a low voice. Jiang Chen nodded. De Huang Dog was right. His biggest gain from the demonic immortal island was not the vermilion bird divine blood, but his sworn brother, Tianpeng Evil Emperor. If it wasn't for Heavenly Peng Demon Sovereign, Jiang Chen really didn't know how to solve the situation today. He was very clear about the determination of the three immortal courts to kill him. He was afraid that only Heavenly Peng Demon Sovereign could solve the problem. Moreover, he might need the help of Tianpeng Evil Emperor in the future. Jiang Chen was very clear that Star Sovereign's position in the immortal courts was deeply rooted. Even if Heaven Sovereign returned, even if Heaven Sovereign regained the ancient elephant bloodline, it would be extremely difficult for him to regain control of the immortal courts. Star Sovereign must be an experienced and astute person to be able to do this. How could he not leave a backup plan? Furthermore, how could a powerful 6th-grade great sovereign, a sovereign lord, be easy to deal with? Demon sovereign, it's not a good thing for you to go against the 3 immortal courts for a puny Jiang Chen. I hope Demon Sovereign can think twice and not affect the relationship between the immortal courts and the demonic immortal island for an irrelevant person. Huang Qingzhong couldn't help but say after seeing Tianpeng Evil Emperor's resolute attitude. Relationship? What relationship does my demonic immortal island have with you? It's impossible for you to kill Jiang Chen. Also, if you want to talk, let the 3 sovereign lords come. Otherwise, I'll leave with Jiang Chen. Tianpeng Evil Emperor said. He was a truly arrogant person who looked down on the world. He didn't even put the sovereign lords of the immortal courts in his eyes. Wu Yuanyang and the other 2 looked at each other helplessly after seeing Tianpeng Evil Emperor's domineering attitude. Let the sovereign lords come. We don't have the qualifications to negotiate with Tianpeng Evil Emperor. If we offend him, he might just kill us. Wouldn't we die in vain? Li Shangyun said with a frown. That's right. Heavenly Peng Demon Sovereign is a famous person. We can't afford to offend him. His personality is eccentric and he never acts according to common sense. He's not someone we can afford to offend. If he really wants to attack us, only death awaits us. That's true. Huang Qingzhong nodded and agreed with Li Shangyun's words. They were indeed not qualified to go against a person like Tianpeng Evil Emperor. That's the only thing we can do now. I don't know what means this kid Jiang Chen used to become sworn brothers with Tianpeng Evil Emperor. He even made Tianpeng Evil Emperor leave the ocean to protect him. Judging from Tianpeng Evil Emperor's attitude, he won't make any concessions. So, we can only let the Sovereign Lord take action. Wu Yuanyang said, agreeing with their opinion. Feng Jingyang and the others might not care about it, but Tianpeng Evil Emperor was different. He was the pinnacle figure of the immortal world. A sovereign lord. Only the sovereign lord could stand on equal footing with Tianpeng Evil Emperor, and have the qualifications to negotiate with Tianpeng Evil Emperor. Moreover, Jiang Chen's growth was too fast. His cultivation base was getting stronger and stronger. Such a strong enemy had already made the immortal court worried. So they had to settle their grudges with Jiang Chen no matter what, even if they had to let the sovereign lord take action personally. Therefore, the 3 of them took out a messenger talisman at the same time. It was a special messenger talisman that had a specific direction. It was obviously meant to send a message to the sovereign lord. They are sending a message to the 3 sovereign lords. It seems like the 3 immortal courts are very determined to kill Jiang Chen. Feng Jingyang said worriedly. After all, they were 3 sovereign lords, not just one of them. They wouldn't be easy to deal with. Humph. Not to mention the 3 sovereign lords. Even if all 9 sovereign lords are here, I, Tianpeng Evil Emperor, wouldn't care. Who dares to kill my brother? Tianpeng Evil Emperor harumphed coldly. His qi had reached the extreme. It could be seen that this demon sovereign was going all out in order to protect Jiang Chen. What a powerful demon sovereign. So domineering. I know that this Tianpeng Evil Emperor is the island lord of the overseas demonic immortal island. I never thought that Jiang Chen could become sworn brothers with such a figure. If I didn't see it with my own eyes, I wouldn't believe it even if I was beaten to death. That's right. I never thought that today's matter would become so big. More and more people have been involved. Perhaps even the sovereign lord of the immortal court will appear soon. Our genius prefecture is going to be really lively. To the people of Great Qian Empire, so many figures had appeared one after another today. Each of them was a legendary existence. If it was in the past, the appearance of so many great sovereigns in Genius Prefecture would absolutely bring light to their humble dwelling. It was a supreme glory. But now, Genius Prefecture had become the place to settle the grudge between Jiang Chen and the 3 immortal courts. The master of Great Qian Empire could only be an onlooker. They couldn't say anything and no one dared to say anything. Thank you, big brother. Jiang Chen clasped his fists at Tianpeng Evil Emperor. All the gratitude he felt was fused into the word thank you. He could see that Tianpeng Evil Emperor was genuinely nice to him. He could only keep this friendship in his heart. Given the current situation, Jiang Chen indeed needed the help of Tianpeng Evil Emperor. Brother, we are sworn brothers. There's no need to be courteous. I believe that if I fall into a dangerous situation one day, you will stand up for me without hesitation. Tianpeng Evil Emperor patted Jiang Chen's shoulder. Not long after, 3 brilliant rays of light suddenly pierced through the sky from 3 different directions and appeared in the sky above Genius Prefecture at the same time. The entire Genius Prefecture was immediately shrouded by an endless pressure. Needless to say, the 3 sovereign lords had arrived. Chapter 2015. The arrival of the 3 sovereign lords had brought an unimaginable pressure to the entire Genius Prefecture. That was the pressure released by 3 6th-grade great sovereigns at the same time. Ordinary people would not be able to withstand it. Some of the weaker ones were shivering from head to toe under such pressure. Their faces turned pale and they might suffocate at any time. Upon seeing this, Yan Chenyu waved her hand and struck out an ice curtain above Genius Prefecture. This ice curtain was nothing to the 6th-grade great sovereigns, but it was enough to isolate the pressure released by the 6th-grade great sovereigns. At least, the people of Genius Prefecture felt much better because of the ice curtain. Countless people of Genius Prefecture heaved a deep sigh of relief. Their eyes were looking at Yan Chenyu, who was hovering in the sky with deep gratitude. In the void, 3 tyrannical silhouettes emerged. They were 3 middle-aged men who seemed to be in their 40s. Their eyes were filled with deep gratitude. All 3 of them had a domineering aura on their faces. Their brows were filled with the unique heroic spirit of those in a superior position. Every single one of their actions carried a high and mighty aura, making people feel subdued. Ethereal Sovereign Lord. Mi Luo Sovereign Lord. Radiant Sovereign Lord. The 3 sovereign lords appeared at the same time. This was probably the first time in the immortal world. There were 9 immortal domains in the immortal world. There were times when the 9 sovereign lords would gather together, but that was in the high and mighty immortal court. Today, 3 sovereign lords and Tianpeng Evil Emperor appeared at the same time in a small place like Genius Prefecture. It was truly unprecedented. Great Qian Empire was at best a top power in eastern Xuanyu. Such a power would never be taken seriously by the immortal court. Today, because of Jiang Chen, so many legendary experts had appeared. Just this alone was enough to make Great Qian Empire famous. Seeing the 3 sovereign lords, Wu Yuanyang and the other 2 went to their respective sovereign lords and clasped their fists, then explained everything that had happened here. The ethereal sovereign lord nodded, then took a step forward and came to a place not far from Tianpeng Evil Emperor. Tianpeng Evil Emperor, long time no see. The ethereal sovereign lord greeted. The Tianpeng Evil Emperor was a famous great demon in the immortal world. Even though he was the sovereign lord, he still had to give him face. Ethereal sovereign lord, it's been a long time since we last met. Your immortal court has improved a lot. So many great sovereigns are here to kill a half-sovereign. If word of this spreads out, I'm afraid it will affect your reputation, Sovereign Lord. Tianpeng Evil Emperor said. He went straight to the point and brought the topic to Jiang Chen. Obviously, Tianpeng Evil Emperor didn't want to waste any time. His only purpose for coming here today was to help Jiang Chen settle the grudge between him and the 3 immortal courts. Tianpeng Evil Emperor, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have come here. As for that Jiang Chen, he is insane. He has killed the people of my immortal court time and time again. If I don't punish him, the reputation of my immortal court will be greatly affected. Am I right, Tianpeng Evil Emperor? Said the ethereal sovereign lord with a smile. From his tone, it seemed like he didn't want to fall out with Tianpeng Evil Emperor. After all, it wouldn't benefit his immortal court if they were to fall out with Tianpeng Evil Emperor. However, the ethereal sovereign lord's words were very clear. It seemed like he wasn't going to let Tianpeng Evil Emperor go. If it was before, you can kill whoever you want. I, Tianpeng Evil Emperor, don't have the time to care about your trivial matters. But now, Jiang Chen is my sworn brother. That day on the demonic immortal island, I and Jiang Chen are sworn brothers. It has already been announced to the world. If my brother is killed, it will show that I, Tianpeng Evil Emperor, am incompetent. How can I continue to live in the immortal world in the future? Tianpeng Evil Emperor's attitude was incomparably strong. Since he had appeared today, he must do everything he could to protect Jiang Chen's safety. Humph. Tianpeng Evil Emperor, you said it nicely. Even if you didn't come, I would have gone to the demonic immortal island to ask. At this moment, a cold harumph was heard. The radiant sovereign lord strode towards them. His face was as sharp as a knife. His tiger-like eyes were constantly glowing. One look and anyone could tell that he was a man with a bad temper. Tianpeng Evil Emperor, we have given you face by sending people to congratulate you on your birthday. We even brought precious gifts. However, none of the people we sent returned. All of them were killed in the sea region. Don't you think you should give us an explanation for this matter? Said the radiant sovereign lord loudly. As the sovereign lord of an immortal court, he naturally had his own strength. Upon hearing this, Tianpeng Evil Emperor couldn't help but frown. He had learned about this matter later on. Before the people of Ethereal Immortal Court went to the demonic Immortal Island, only Lan Xian was left. The other two people of Immortal Court were killed in the sea region after they left. Needless to say, this matter must have been done by Jiang Chen. In the entire immortal world, perhaps only Jiang Chen dared to attack the people of Immortal Court in such a wage. Our people were killed by Jiang Chen. Tell me, how are you going to settle this debt? The radiant sovereign lord's chi was overbearing, as if he wanted to seek justice. Don't be angry. Tianpeng Evil Emperor has come today to settle the grudge between you and Jiang Chen. It's impossible for you to kill my brother. This emperor will never agree to it. Why don't the three of you give me face and settle the grudge between you and Jiang Chen once and for all? If you don't go looking for trouble with Jiang Chen in the future, Jiang Chen will never kill your people again. In addition, I, Tianpeng Evil Emperor, will compensate you. Tianpeng Evil Emperor said. He wanted to be a peacemaker. Given the current situation, reconciliation was the best choice. After all, Jiang Chen's current strength was too weak to compete with the Immortal Court. Moreover, Jiang Chen's actions had completely alarmed the higher-ups of the Immortal Court. Even the Sovereign Lord had to personally come forward to kill him. No matter how capable Tianpeng Evil Emperor was, it was impossible for him to start a war with the three Sovereign Lords at the same time. In that case, not only would he not be able to save Jiang Chen, the demonic Immortal Island might also be implicated. Settle it once and for all? What a joke. Heavenly Peng Demon Sovereign, we will give you face, but we can't accept your conditions. We will never give in to Jiang Chen. As for your compensation, do you think that the Immortal Court will put it in our eyes? Heavenly Peng Demon Sovereign said. Mi Luo Sovereign Lord said. It seemed that he was not going to give face to Tianpeng Evil Emperor. Tianpeng, this isn't overseas. Don't think that you can cover the sky with one hand in the immortal world. Let me tell you, Jiang Chen will be killed by the Immortal Court today. I advise you to mind your own business. Chapter 2016. The atmosphere suddenly became incomparably tense. Everyone's facial expression didn't look good. Feng Jingyang knitted his eyebrows tightly. He didn't expect that the three immortal courts would be so determined to kill Jiang Chen. Judging from the attitude of the three sovereign lords, they didn't plan to give Tianpeng Evil Emperor any face at all. In other words, if the three sovereign lords decided to take action today, even if Tianpeng Evil Emperor was here, he wouldn't be able to save Jiang Chen. After all, there were too many great sovereign experts in front of them. Once they decided to kill Jiang Chen, no one would be able to stop them. No matter how strong Tianpeng Evil Emperor was, he could only fight against two sovereign lords at the same time. The remaining one could crush Jiang Chen with just a finger, not to mention the three powerful fifth-grade great sovereigns, Wu Yuanyang. Kid, it seems like today's situation isn't going to be easy to deal with. De Huang Dog said worriedly. Jiang Chen, if it doesn't work, I will send a message to Star Sovereign and ask him to come over. With the deterrence of Star Sovereign and Tianpeng Evil Emperor, the three sovereign lords will have to reconsider. Feng Jingyang said. No need. Don't worry, Master. Everything will be fine. Jiang Chen said with a smile. His face was as calm as an ancient well, without any sign of nervousness. It made people wonder where his confidence came from. Jiang Chen could accept Feng Jingyang's kindness, but he would never accept Star Sovereign's help. From the moment he stepped into the Feng Qi Immortal Court, it indicated that he and Star Sovereign were enemies. Jiang Chen would never accept the kindness of his enemy. If he did so, he wouldn't be able to do what he wanted to do in the future. Additionally, Jiang Chen secretly circulated the great divination art to divine the future. He predicted that there would be more opportunities today. He wasn't at the end of the road yet. If the great divination art showed that he was at the end of the road today, Jiang Chen wouldn't waste any more time here. He would use the Zulong Tower to escape. With his current strength, with the help of Tianpeng Evil Emperor, even if the three sovereign lords joined forces, they wouldn't be able to kill him. However, Jiang Chen couldn't escape. He still had to wait for the opportunity predicted by the great divination art. Escaping was the last resort, and it would bring disaster to the great Qian Empire. Now that the three sovereign lords had shown themselves, it was obvious that they had abandoned their dignity. Under such a situation, it wasn't impossible for them to use the great Qian Empire to threaten him, just like the northern and southern dynasties. It seems like the three of you don't intend to give me, Tianpeng Evil Emperor, any face today. Tianpeng Evil Emperor's face darkened. He had roamed freely in his life, and there were too many situations where he would start a fight because of a disagreement. Even if it was the three sovereign lords, he would still dare to start a fight. Tianpeng Evil Emperor, the three of us appearing together is already giving you a lot of face. It's absolutely impossible for you to bring Jiang Chen away safely today. The ethereal sovereign lord said. His attitude was as tough as the other two sovereign lords. In order to kill Jiang Chen, they would definitely not give in. Humph. It seems like I, Tianpeng Evil Emperor, am trying to mediate the feud between you all out of kindness, but you all don't appreciate my kindness. However, I, Tianpeng Evil Emperor, am not someone who can be killed by anyone. Today, I am going to bring Jiang Chen away. I'm afraid that even if the three of you join forces, you won't be able to stop me. Tianpeng Evil Emperor let out a cold harumph. The imposing manner of a 6th-grade demon sovereign was completely unleashed. It seemed like he would start a fight if there was any disagreement. You're right. With your strength, Tianpeng Evil Emperor, even if the three of us join forces, we won't be able to stop you. However, if you bring Jiang Chen away, the great Qian Empire will suffer today. The radiant sovereign lord sneered. Hong. As soon as the words were spoken, a surge of anger instantly gushed out from Jiang Chen's body. He had expected that the immortal court would use the great Qian Empire to threaten him, but he didn't expect that the radiant sovereign lord would be so shameless as to threaten him directly. The dignified immortal court dares to attack a small power? Don't you think you're too shameless? Tianpeng Evil Emperor was infuriated as well. According to his initial plan, he would bring Jiang Chen away if the mediation failed. At least, he would save Jiang Chen's life. However, he had never thought that the three immortal courts would be so shameless as to use the great Qian Empire to threaten him. Although Tianpeng Evil Emperor had only known Jiang Chen for a short period of time, he knew Jiang Chen's character very well. From the day when Jiang Chen brought Xiao Wangqing to the Myriad Wind platform, he could tell that Jiang Chen was a person who would sacrifice himself for his friends. A person like Jiang Chen valued friendship the most. If the disaster of the great Qian Empire was caused by Jiang Chen wouldn't leave even if he had to die. Tianpeng Evil Emperor, aren't you being too serious? The great Qian Empire is a force under the control of the immortal court. Now that the great Qian Empire is disrespectful to the immortal court and harboring a fugitive of the immortal court, any one of these is enough to destroy the great Qian Empire. The ethereal sovereign lord said casually. His words could decide the fate of the great Qian Empire. Despicable. Jiang Chen couldn't help but curse. Although the ethereal sovereign lord was shameless, his words were reasonable. If the immortal court didn't lose face by destroying the great Qian Empire, the immortal court could at least find 100 reasons to destroy the great Qian Empire. And this consequence was brought to the great Qian Empire by Jiang Chen. Motherfucker. The immortal court is too shameless. It's obvious that they want to use us to threaten Jiang Chen. It's too despicable. Jiang Chen values friendship and righteousness. He won't leave us behind. The immortal court has noticed this and put Jiang Chen in a dilemma. Hey, I didn't expect it to come to this. If the Tianpeng Evil Emperor isn't strong enough, Jiang Chen might die here today. The people of the great Qian Empire were incomparably angry. However, they could only be angry on the ground. There was nothing they could do except to watch the scene unfold. Even their old emperor didn't have the right to speak in the face of so many magnates of the immortal world. Tianpeng Evil Emperor, our time is very precious. You'd better hand Jiang Chen over to us, lest we get into an unpleasant situation. The radiant sovereign lord continued to speak in a threatening manner. Hong. A powerful demonic aura gushed out from the body of the Tianpeng Evil Emperor. It could be seen that the Tianpeng Evil Emperor was really angry, unprecedentedly. Humph. Don't think that I'm a pushover. I, the Tianpeng Evil Emperor, am trying to negotiate with you nicely, but you don't want to give me any face. In that case, let's fight. Chapter 2017. Violent chi waves began to roll in the sky above the Genius Prefecture. On the other side, the three sovereign lords' faces showed a hint of ruthlessness. Each of them was emitting the powerful aura of a sixth-grade great sovereign. Judging from their looks, they wouldn't let Jiang Chen go even if they had to fight Heavenly Peng Demon Sovereign. Countless people's faces turned ugly, especially the people of the Great Qian Empire. They knew very well that if the four of them were to fight against each other, the damage and destructive power would be far greater than the battle between Feng Jingyang and the others. Are they really going to fight? There's no room for negotiation anymore. Someone sighed. The situation was getting worse and worse. At this moment, perhaps no one could control the situation anymore. Everyone, listen up. Kill Jiang Chen and that dog at all costs. The ethereal sovereign lord gave the order. Obviously, the order was given to Wu Yuanyang. The three sovereign lords wanted to control the Tianping Evil Emperor tightly, so that the Tianping Evil Emperor wouldn't have any chance to help. In that case, it would be easy for Wu Yuanyang and the others to kill Jiang Chen. Amit Ba. At this moment, an incomparably solemn voice suddenly resounded from afar. Everyone's eyes looked towards that direction, and saw a golden light that was 1,000 miles wide spreading towards them at a rapid speed. The golden light was pure Buddha light. As soon as it appeared, it swept away all the haze, making the sky above the Genius Prefecture peaceful. Under the golden light, the silhouettes of two eminent monks emerged. These two eminent monks were obviously powerful figures. One of them was a young monk that seemed to be in his 20s, with a solemn face. However, the people of the Great Qian Empire weren't unfamiliar with this monk, because this little monk was none other than Tyrant. Look, isn't that Tyrant? How did this guy become a great sovereign? Yeah, it's Tyrant. How did his cultivation base improve so fast? It's unbelievable. Who's that eminent monk beside him? Such a powerful aura. He doesn't seem to be any weaker than the three sovereign lords. Could he be the abbot of White Dragon Temple? The sudden appearance of these two eminent monks immediately attracted everyone's attention. There was almost no need to think about the eminent monks at the Great Emperor level. They were definitely from the White Dragon Temple. The immortal world's White Dragon Temple was the representative of the Buddhist sect. Green Lotus. Jiang Chen, Yan Chenyu and a Huang Dog exclaimed when they saw the eminent monk of 6th grade Great Sovereign Realm. Their eyes were wide open, and they were so shocked that they couldn't speak. Shocking. This was too shocking. That senior monk who looked to be in his 40s, wearing a golden kasaya, and exuding pure Buddhist light, was none other than Ancestor Green Lotus. Old Ancestor Green Lotus had disappeared ever since they parted ways in Saint Origin World. There had been no news of him since then. Who would have thought that they would meet here today? What made Jiang Chen and the others even more shocked was that old Ancestor Green Lotus's appearance had brought such a great shock to them. A 6th grade Great Sovereign was too powerful. It was a miracle that Tyrant had advanced to the 1st grade Great Sovereign Realm. Needless to say, Jiang Chen and a Huang Dog could guess that Ancestor Green Lotus must be the reincarnation of a Supreme Buddha. Otherwise, he wouldn't be so powerful. The fact that Tyrant could become a great emperor in such a short time was obviously related to Ancestor Green Lotus. When Tyrant saw Jiang Chen, a look of pleasant surprise appeared on his face. With a sway of his body, he appeared beside Jiang Chen. Monk, what's going on? Jiang Chen couldn't wait to know the answer. He was really surprised today. It's a long story. Let's settle this first. Tyrant chuckled and kept Jiang Chen in suspense. However, given the current situation, it was indeed not suitable to talk about this. Jiang Chen sighed. After today's matter was settled, he must get to the bottom of it. Are the eminent monks of the White Dragon Temple going to meddle in other people's business? Radiant Sovereign Lord looked at Ancestor Green Lotus and said with a frown. The Ethereal Sovereign Lord and the Mi Luo Sovereign Lord looked solemn. They could see that the reason why this eminent monk appeared here was obviously to protect Jiang Chen. It was the same purpose as Heavenly Peng Demon Sovereign. They might not care about a single Tianping Evil Emperor. However, if White Dragon Temple was added to the mix, they had no choice but to be cautious. White Dragon Temple was a special force in the immortal world. It was the pinnacle of Buddhism. In the past, the Golden Clan and Buddhism had made great contributions to the war against the barbarian race. Therefore, the existence of White Dragon Temple had always been respected by the people of the world. Moreover, White Dragon Temple's Buddhism sect was deeply rooted and its Buddhist divine art was incomparably powerful. There were many eminent monks in the temple. There were even powerful Buddhas in the Emperor domain. Even the Immortal Court wouldn't dare to go against White Dragon Temple for no reasons. Amitabha. This humble monk, Green Lotus, greets the three sovereign lords. Ancestor Green Lotus put his palms together and said righteously, "Green Lotus? You are Ancestor Green Lotus?" Ethereal Sovereign Lord was shocked. "That's me." Ancestor Green Lotus said. "Didn't Ancestor Green Lotus pass away in meditation? That's a figure that existed even longer than us." Radiant Sovereign Lord was also shocked. "That's right. He didn't lie. He really is the abbot of White Dragon Temple. Ancestor Green Lotus. I have an impression of him. I once met this eminent monk. However, I was just a small fry back then." He had already become an eminent monk. Unexpectedly, he didn't die, or rather, he has returned. Mi Luo Sovereign Lord said as he felt the aura of Ancestor Green Lotus. As the abbot of White Dragon Temple, Ancestor Green Lotus was also a famous figure in the past. However, the era he lived in was after the Great Calamity. Therefore, even De Huang Dog hadn't seen Ancestor Green Lotus before. However, to the three sovereign lords, Ancestor Green Lotus' reputation was huge. As the abbot of White Dragon Temple, who wouldn't know him? "Master, may I know why you are here?" Ethereal Sovereign Lord asked. "This old monk is here for an old friend. This Jiang Chen is a close friend of this old monk. I hope that the three of you can be magnanimous. If the enmity between the three of you continues, it won't be beneficial to any of you." Ancestor Green Lotus clearly expressed his intention of coming. "Brother, you're really something. Since when did you befriend the abbot of White Dragon Temple?" Tianpeng Evil Emperor gave a thumbs up to Jiang Chen. With his demonic Immortal Island, White Dragon Temple, and Fengqi Immortal Domain as his backer, the three sovereign lords would have to consider the consequences if they wanted to act forcefully. One should know that among the 9 immortal courts of the immortal world, none of them had ever dared to go against White Dragon Temple. Chapter 2018. At this moment, Jiang Chen was still in a dumbfounded state. He and old Ancestor Green Lotus were the first to meet again in the immortal world. Naturally, he was excited. However, the strength of old Ancestor Green Lotus shocked Jiang Chen even more. There was no way he wouldn't be shocked. He was a 6th grade great sovereign and the abbot of White Dragon Temple. But no matter what, Jiang Chen was still very excited to see his old friend's achievement and tyrant's successful advancement to the great sovereign realm, becoming a true Buddha. He couldn't help but feel overjoyed. Moreover, the stronger old Ancestor Green Lotus was, the more help he would be to Jian Wushuang. Especially in a situation like today, any ordinary person would be useless. On the other side, the three sovereign lords heard the purpose of old Ancestor Green Lotus' visit. Although they had already expected it, their faces still turned extremely ugly. This situation was what they didn't want to see the most. Jiang Chen's background was getting stronger and stronger, causing them to have scruples. They even knew that it would be extremely difficult to kill Jiang Chen today. Old Ancestor Green Lotus, the grudge between us and Jiang Chen is too deep. Your White Dragon Temple has never participated in the battles of other forces. Why are you interfering in our grudge today? This isn't good. The Radiant Sovereign Lord said unwillingly. Amitabha. My appearance here today is only representing myself. I don't represent the White Dragon Temple. My old friend Jiang Chen had once saved my life and we are best friends. Now that my old friend is in trouble, I will protect him even if I have to risk my life. Jiang Chen said. Old Ancestor Green Lotus said calmly, but the strength in his tone was obvious. After hearing what old Ancestor Green Lotus said, the three sovereign lords almost spurted out blood. What does he mean by only representing himself? You're the motherfucking abbot of White Dragon Temple. Can you only represent yourself? If anything were to happen to this old monk, how could the White Dragon Temple let this matter rest? In the Immortal Court, White Dragon Temple wasn't a force to be trifled with. It was a true sacred land of Buddha sect. Its foundation was much deeper than that of the Immortal Court. Moreover, White Dragon Temple had once made great contributions to the Immortal Court. Not to provoke White Dragon Temple had already become an unspoken consensus among the 9 Immortal Courts. The 3 Supreme Lords could not help but start to praise Jiang Chen. Even if they were unwilling, They had to admit that this Jiang Chen was indeed an unusual person. He was a sworn brother of the Tianping evil emperor, and he had even saved the life of the Green Lotus ancestor, causing the abbot of the White Dragon Temple to risk his life to ensure his safety. Was this something that a human could do? What kind of magic did he, Jiang Chen, have that made the two giants stand up for him at all costs? Amazing! To think that Jiang Chen saved the life of the White Dragon Temple's abbot before. This is simply unbelievable. Jiang Chen has created yet another miracle. Like I said, it's too difficult to kill Jiang Chen. Haha, now even the White Dragon Temple has appeared. In addition to the demonic immortal island, Feng Jingyang even represents the Feng Qi immortal domain. With these three giants joining hands, even the three immortal courts would have to think twice. The people of the Great Qian Empire heaved a sigh of relief. If one Tianping evil emperor wasn't enough, then the addition of the White Dragon Temple would definitely be enough. In the entire immortal world, the only person who could be protected by both the Tianping evil emperor and ancestor Green Lotus at the same time was probably Jiang Chen. The three Supreme Lords' faces turned extremely ugly. They even felt that they were in a difficult situation. What should we do now? Asked the ethereal Sovereign Lord. This damn Jiang Chen. To think that so many giants want to protect him. I really regret not killing him in the beginning, said the Mi Luo Sovereign Lord while gritting his teeth. Now that the abbot of the White Dragon Temple has appeared, if Ancestor Green Lotus protects him with all his might, it's impossible for us to start a war with the White Dragon Temple. The Radiant Sovereign Lord also frowned. This was the first time he felt that the situation was troublesome. Three Sovereign Lords, according to what this old monk knows, Jiang Chen had once obtained the Sun Divine Feather. One of his wives has even become the inherited disciple of Empress Xiao Yao. You all should know that the Golden Clan hasn't truly gone extinct. It's only a matter of time before they reappear. Jiang Chen and the Golden Clan have a deep relationship. If you all kill Jiang Chen, the Golden Clan will certainly not be willing to accept it. Continued Ancestor Green Lotus. As soon as these words were spoken, the expressions of the three Supreme Lords changed again. Because what Ancestor Green Lotus said was right. They all knew about the relationship between Jiang Chen and the Golden Clan. In the beginning, they thought that the Golden Clan had completely gone extinct and disappeared from the scene of history. However, the appearance of Wu Ningzhu previously brought news that the Golden Clan hadn't truly disappeared and would one day see the light of day again. Moreover, the second catastrophe of the immortal world would come again, and it wasn't far away. In the entire immortal world, no one dared to disrespect the Golden Clan. They were the true heroes of the immortal world, surpassing the White Dragon Temple. Demonic Immortal Island, White Dragon Temple, Feng Qi Immortal Court. If there was also the Golden Clan that would reappear in the world at any time, they really couldn't kill Jiang Chen. None of these forces were easy to provoke. They didn't care if they offended one of them, but if they offended all of them, even if the three immortal courts joined forces, they wouldn't be able to handle it. Then, how do you think we should end this situation today? Ancestor Green Lotus. After all, Jiang Chen has killed so many of our people. He should at least give us an explanation, right? Said the ethereal Sovereign Lord. He was no longer as strong as before and had started to take a step back. Buddhism pays particular attention to karma. The grudge between you and Jiang Chen is also a kind of karma. If it wasn't for the people of the Immortal Court who wanted to kill Jiang Chen wouldn't have attacked the Immortal Court. In my opinion, let the past go with the wind. The grudge between you guys can be written off. From now on, Jiang Chen won't kill the people of the Immortal Court anymore. If the catastrophe comes again in the near future, we might have to unite as one. Ancestor Green Lotus said righteously. However, after hearing the words of the old monk, the three Supreme Lords almost spurted out blood. After all this time, the old monk wanted to let the matter go and Jiang Chen wouldn't have to pay any price. To think that a dignified eminent monk, the abbot of White Dragon Temple, would have such a shameless side. The three of you, I think that Jiang Chen's promise that he won't kill your people in the future is already the greatest benefit you guys can get. Otherwise, I don't know how many people of the three immortal courts will die in the hands of Jiang Chen in the future. Tianping Evil Emperor said loudly, looking like he was asking for a beating. The two of you, I don't think we can come to a conclusion today. With Tianping Evil Emperor and Ancestor Green Lotus here, we won't be able to kill Jiang Chen. In my opinion, let's talk about it later. Radiant Sovereign Lord said. That's the only way. Chapter 2019. Tianpeng Evil Emperor, Old Ancestor Green Lotus. I will give you face today. Farewell, said the ethereal sovereign lord. Then, he disappeared in a flash. Wu Yuanyang and the other great sovereigns from the immortal courts shook their heads helplessly and left with the ethereal sovereign lord. Although they were unwilling, they knew that it was impossible for them to kill Jiang Chen under such circumstances. After the ethereal sovereign lord left, the radiant sovereign lord and the Mi Luo sovereign lord also left. In the blink of an eye, the three great sovereigns of the immortal courts had disappeared. The commotion had finally ended. Jiang Chen's crisis had been resolved. The sky regained its clarity once again. Everyone from the great Qian Empire heaved a deep sigh of relief. Wave after wave was truly too depressing. Jiang Chen was finally out of danger. The great Qian Empire could finally enjoy peace. It was a great thing and worth celebrating. The three great sovereign lords left immediately. They did not say that they would reconcile with Jiang Chen, nor did they say whether they would kill Jiang Chen in the future. However, it was certain that the three immortal courts would not attack Jiang Chen so blatantly, nor would they use the great Qian Empire to threaten Jiang Chen. After all, Jiang Chen's backing was too powerful. The three immortal courts would have to consider the consequences before they attacked Jiang Chen openly. However, Jiang Chen knew that the three great sovereign lords were unwilling to accept that they could not kill him. In other words, the enmity between him and the three immortal courts had not ended yet. There might be more conflicts in the future. However, Jiang Chen was not afraid. It would be best if the three immortal courts did not find trouble with him. However, if they did, he would not be courteous to them. The current Jiang Chen was not someone to be trifled with. With a cultivation base of a half-step sovereign, and with De Huang Dog by his side, it was no different from seeking death if an ordinary person dared to attack them. Ancestor Green Lotus came to Jiang Chen's side with a smile on his face. The two old friends had met again, but it was different from the past. Congratulations on your return, Ancestor Green Lotus. I've long heard of your great name, but I didn't expect you to be such good friends with my brother. You Buddhists pay particular attention to fate. Is it fate for us? Haha. Tianpeng Evil Emperor laughed. He was very happy to be able to befriend old Ancestor Green Lotus. Of course it's fate. Heavenly Peng Demon Emperors might have shaken the world. Now that I've seen him today, he's indeed extraordinary, said Ancestor Green Lotus. Both of them looked very happy to see each other. Both of them were Jiang Chen's friends. Because of Jiang Chen, they would naturally be friends in the future. Junior Feng Jingyang greets Ancestor Green Lotus. Feng Jingyang cupped his fists towards Ancestor Green Lotus. Even though he was a peerless figure of the Feng Qi Immortal Court, he was still a junior in front of the legendary Ancestor Green Lotus. Feng Jingyang was very respectful towards the abbot of White Dragon Temple. The few of them chatted for a while longer before Feng Jingyang prepared to leave. Jiang Chen, the matters here have been settled. I will go back first. The miniature Feng Qi world will open in a few days. Remember to come back quickly after you are done with your work. Don't miss this opportunity. Feng Jingyang patted Jiang Chen's shoulder. Yes, Master. I haven't seen Ancestor Green Lotus for a long time and I have many things to talk about. I'll be back tomorrow, Jiang Chen said. All right. Feng Jingyang nodded and stepped into the air. The glory of the Dragon Hall would rest on Jiang Chen's shoulders in the future. To Jiang Chen, the most important thing in Feng Qi Immortal Court was to enter the miniature Feng Qi world. He had been waiting for this day. Even if Feng Jingyang did not remind him, he would not have delayed it. Jiang Chen estimated that the Feng Qi Immortal Court would welcome a real change after the miniature Feng Qi world was over. Brother, you and Ancestor Green Lotus have reunited after a long time. You should have a good reunion. I will not participate in this. This is a message talisman that I personally made. Take it. If you encounter any difficulties in the future, you can send a message through this talisman. As long as you don't leave the immortal world, I will receive it. Tianpeng Evil Emperor took out a pale golden talisman and passed it to Jiang Chen. All right. Thank you for your help today. Jiang Chen did not stand on ceremony and took the talisman. He might need Tianpeng Evil Emperor's help for the changes in the Feng Qi Immortal Court in the future. All right. Don't stand on ceremony with me. Don't forget to visit the demonic immortal island when you are free. Tianpeng Evil Emperor said and stepped into the air. Jiang Chen turned and looked at Ancestor Green Lotus. Green Lotus, I didn't expect you to be so awesome. Jiang Chen sighed. It's all because of the fate and fortune of Buddha, Ancestor Green Lotus said with a smile. Little Chenzi, ancestral master, used to be the abbot of White Dragon Temple. He went straight to White Dragon Temple after ascending. I only found out about it not long ago. It's all thanks to Ancestral Master that I can advance to the great sovereign realm now. Tyrant said excitedly. One could see that Tyrant was also very surprised about the true identity of Ancestor Green Lotus. Little monk has a deep fate with Buddha. Your future achievement will surely surpass this old monk. Ancestor Green Lotus looked at Tyrant and said sincerely. Jiang Chen nodded his head. The fact that Tyrant could be praised by Ancestor Green Lotus was enough to show how extraordinary Tyrant was. All along, Tyrant had never been an ordinary person. How could a person who could control the God-trembling monument be an ordinary person? Everyone, let's not stand here and chat. Let's enter the Genius Prefecture. I have already arranged everything. Yang Bufan stepped forward. All right. Jiang Chen nodded. Under the lead of Yang Bufan, a group of people walked towards the Genius Prefecture. The place that Yang Bufan had arranged was the courtyard where Jiang Chen used to cultivate in Genius Prefecture. Although Jiang Chen had left, this place was still intact for him. Great Qian Empire still needed to reorganize with great fanfare. After defeating Nanbei family, Great Qian Empire would become the true overlord of East Xuanyu. Jiang Chen and Ancestor Green Lotus chatted for a night. Early the next morning, Ancestor Green Lotus left with Tyrant. The second catastrophe was coming. This was the message that Ancestor Green Lotus left for Jiang Chen before he left. As a matter of fact, Jiang Chen had been preparing for this catastrophe. Ever since the battle with the barbarian race in desolate ancient land, he had witnessed the strength and terror of the barbarian race. The barbarian race had recuperated for such a long time that their foundation was strong enough to launch the second catastrophe at any time. The arrival of the catastrophe wasn't a matter of one person. Everyone in the immortal world must be prepared. Let's go. Let's settle the matter in front of us first. Jiang Chen left with De Huang Dog and returned to Fengqi Immortal Court. After all, the matter of the barbarian race hadn't arrived yet. There was no point in worrying blindly. The most pressing matter at hand was Nangong Wentian and Fengqi Immortal Court. Chapter 2020. After Jiang Chen and De Huang Dog left, Great Qian Empire regained its peace once again. However, after this huge incident, Great Qian Empire could be considered to have gained a firm foothold in East Xuanyu. From now on, there wouldn't be any more danger. Nanbei family would certainly be silenced. Exquisite Paradise and Celestial Flower Valley were on good terms with Great Qian Empire. As long as the Immortal Court didn't take action, there wouldn't be another existence that could go against Great Qian Empire. Today, Tianpeng Evil Emperor and Old Ancestor Green Lotus appeared at the same time. No matter how shameless the three Immortal Courts were, they wouldn't dare to take action against Great Qian Empire. After all, Demonic Immortal Island and White Dragon Temple still had a great influence in the immortal world. The next important thing was the opening of the miniature Fengqi world. The reason why Jiang Chen entered Fengqi Immortal Court was for this day. Yan Chen Yu was still cultivating in the Great Qian Empire. She had just become a great monarch, and she needed to stabilize her cultivation base. The Great Qian Empire was undoubtedly the best place for her to cultivate. To Jiang Chen, he had gained quite a lot from this trip. Firstly, he had completely settled the grudge between him and the Northern and Southern dynasties. It was time for him to put an end to the conflict between him and the Northern and Southern dynasties after such a long time. Then, he met his old friend, Old Ancestor Green Lotus, which gave him a great surprise. Not only was he happy to meet an old friend, but he also temporarily got rid of the entanglement of the three immortal courts. Before the catastrophe of the immortal world arrived, temporarily settling the grudge between him and the immortal courts had saved Jiang Chen a lot of trouble. I really didn't expect Green Lotus to be the abbot of White Dragon Temple in his previous life. This is really unbelievable. Jiang Chen sighed. It was impossible to say that he wasn't shocked by the identity of Old Ancestor Green Lotus. No one had thought of this. However, the stronger Old Ancestor Green Lotus is, the better it is for us. As far as I know, the abbot of White Dragon Temple isn't just a 6th grade great sovereign. Green Lotus definitely has a lot of room for advancement. Buddhism can still play a vital role in the fight against the barbarian world. De Huang Dog said. You're right. According to Ancestor Green Lotus, the second calamity of the immortal world is coming. Sister Ning also said the same thing when she appeared. When we went to the desolate ancient land to save you, we personally witnessed the terror of the barbarian world. It's enough to set off a calamity. Jiang Chen nodded. All the signs indicated that a new catastrophe was about to arrive. Jiang Chen was incomparably excited about this catastrophe that could change the fate of the entire immortal world. For him, the barbarians of the immortal world were like fertile nourishment. The Zulong Tower had not been upgraded for a long time. Now, the Zulong Tower had condensed to the 57th floor. Once the catastrophe came, the Zulong Tower would be greatly upgraded. There was no doubt about this. Fengqi Immortal Court. As soon as Jiang Chen returned, he was immediately surrounded by the disciples of the Dragon Hall. They didn't know what had happened in the Great Qian Empire yesterday, but they had heard about what had happened in the demonic Immortal Island. After all, the demonic Immortal Island was such a big event that everyone in the world would know about it, especially Jiang Chen, who was a famous person. Our junior brother Jiang has returned. My God! His cultivation base has already advanced to the half-step sovereign realm. What kind of joke is this? My God! Did this guy eat some kind of great tonic? Isn't his progress a little too fast? How long has it been and he has already advanced to the half-step sovereign realm? Is he still a human? That's right. If I'm not mistaken, I'm afraid that even big senior brother won't be a match for the half-step sovereign realm junior brother Jiang if he uses that powerful transformation skill. Seeing Jiang Chen advancing to the half-step sovereign realm, the disciples of the Dragon Hall felt as if they were going to go crazy. They were geniuses amongst geniuses, especially Hong Ying, Yu Feng and Duan Ren. They were outstanding geniuses amongst geniuses, but even they had never seen such a terrifying speed of advancement. In their point of view, Jiang Chen was simply a monster. He was a little too abnormal. Senior brothers and senior sisters, I'll feel embarrassed if all of you stare at me like a tiger watching its prey. Jiang Chen said hastily. Embarrassed? Our junior brother Jiang actually knows how to be embarrassed. Hong Ying teased. Junior brother Jiang, I heard that you've become famous after going to the demonic Immortal Island. Why don't you tell us how you became sworn brothers with a great figure like Tianpeng Evil Emperor? That's really exciting. That's right. That's Tianpeng Evil Emperor we're talking about. I didn't expect you to become sworn brothers with him. It's a great pity that I didn't see that scene with my own eyes. Junior brother Jiang, you have to tell us about it. Big senior brother's story is so boring. Yu Feng and the others surrounded Jiang Chen as soon as they came up and started talking at the same time. Yu Huafan didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Jiang Chen didn't even have the time to interrupt. All right. Are you guys done yet? Yu Huafan said angrily. Go away, big senior brother. Your story is boring. We're going to sit down and have a long talk with junior brother Jiang. Duan Ren pushed Yu Huafan aside impatiently. Yu Huafan shook his head helplessly. He really couldn't do anything to his junior brothers and sisters. He didn't have the dignity of a big senior brother at all. The Dragon Hall was indeed united. Big senior brother didn't have the airs of a big senior brother. When everyone gathered together, they were like real brothers and sisters. Jiang Chen liked this warm atmosphere very much. All right, you little brats. That's enough. A voice was heard not far away. Feng Jingyang was seen leisurely walking towards them with a faint smile on his face. Master, you really have a good eye this time. You've found a good disciple. Yu Feng said with a smile. I don't need you to tell me about my eye. Feng Jingyang glared at Yu Feng and said, the miniature Fengqi world is going to open the day after tomorrow. You should at least make some preparations. Yes, Master. Hong Ying said. Jiang Chen, come with me. Feng Jingyang called out and turned around to walk back. Master is so biased. He never talked to me alone. Duan Ren looked envious. Why not? The last time you did something wrong, Master looked for you alone and punished you severely. Get lost. Not far away, Jiang Chen came to Feng Jingyang's side. Jiang Chen, even I am afraid of your current identity. Feng Jingyang teased with a smile. Master must be joking. Chapter 2021. As a matter of fact, Feng Jingyang felt that being Jiang Chen's master was rather stressful. Not only was it stressful, it wasn't a small amount of stress. Putting everything else aside, when Jiang Chen addressed him as master in front of Tianpeng Evil Emperor and Old Ancestor Green Lotus, his heart trembled. What kind of people were Tianpeng Evil Emperor and Old Ancestor Green Lotus? They were well-known figures in the entire immortal world. Other than the sovereign domain, they were the pinnacle existences. Feng Jingyang had to address himself as a junior in front of them, but Jiang Chen had become sworn brothers with them. This disciple of his was quite incredible. Back to the main topic. The miniature Fengqi world will be opening the day after tomorrow. It's an opportunity for the disciples of the immortal court. The miniature Fengqi world is a special space that exists. There are many inheritances of ancient experts in it, and there are also ancient Great Devil ruins. After it was discovered by the immortal court, it was named the miniature Fengqi world. With your current strength, as long as your luck isn't bad, there won't be much danger in the miniature Fengqi world. Feng Jingyang continued. As for the fights between the disciples of the immortal court, if the disciples of other halls were to find trouble with you, they would be asking for it. Feng Jingyang introduced the situation of the miniature Fengqi world to Jiang Chen. The miniature Fengqi world wasn't created by the immortal court. It originally existed, but was occupied by the immortal court after they discovered it. There were indeed many powerful ruins and benefits in the miniature Fengqi world. Otherwise, the disciples who had cultivated to the great sovereign level wouldn't have entered it. Yes, I've heard a little about the miniature Fengqi world. I hope to obtain some benefits from entering the miniature Fengqi world this time. Jiang Chen nodded. He wouldn't tell Feng Jingyang his real purpose for coming to the miniature Fengqi world for the time being. Jiang Chen, there's one more thing. I want to know about your relationship with Heaven's Sovereign. Feng Jingyang suddenly looked at Jiang Chen seriously. After all, when Jiang Chen came to the immortal court, he was summoned by Heaven's Sovereign. If it was in the past, Feng Jingyang would never have doubted it. After all, the Celestial Emperor was high and mighty. Why would he have any friendship with a mere Jiang Chen? However, after interacting with Jiang Chen for a long time, Feng Jingyang realized that his disciple was too miraculous. He could not be viewed with the eyes of an ordinary person. How could an ordinary person become sworn brothers with the Tianpeng Evil Emperor? Master, why do you ask? Jiang Chen frowned. He had a vague feeling that something was about to happen. Jiang Chen, I won't hide it from you. If you're related to Sky Emperor, I advise you not to get too close to him, because Star Emperor is already preparing to take action against him. Feng Jingyang said. When do we do it? Jiang Chen's face turned cold. It seemed like the change in the Fengqi immortal court was unavoidable. If Star Emperor chose to take action against Heaven Emperor at this moment, the Celestial Emperor would definitely be at a disadvantage with his current cultivation base. Star Emperor is secretly trying to persuade the elders of the immortal court. After all, taking action against Heaven Emperor is a big deal. If he doesn't manage to persuade all the higher-ups, Star Emperor will be accused of murdering the Sovereign Lord. Star Emperor has to pay attention to this. Currently, there are still some voices of opposition from the higher-ups of the immortal court. They were all people from the same era as Heaven Emperor. In my opinion, once Star Emperor is done with his job, he will take action against Heaven Emperor. At that time, I'm afraid that Heaven Emperor Palace will no longer exist. That's why I advise you not to get too close to Heaven Emperor, Feng Jingyang said. This was a confidential matter. Normally, Feng Jingyang shouldn't tell Jiang Chen about it. Now that he had told Jiang Chen about it, it was enough to show that he cared about and valued Jiang Chen. Of course, Feng Jingyang also wanted to test Jiang Chen. Star Emperor wants to kill Heaven Emperor. Master, do you oppose or agree? Jiang Chen asked. Since he had already spoken about it, Jiang Chen also wanted to know Feng Jingyang's thoughts. It was certain that he wanted to save Sky Emperor, but he did not want to be enemies with Feng Jingyang when the time came. I, Feng Jingyang, have always been loyal to the immortal court. Moreover, I have my own thoughts and bottom line when I do things. Neither Star Sovereign nor Heaven Sovereign can force me, Feng Jingyang, to do things that I don't want to do. To me, it doesn't matter who is in charge of the immortal court. I won't participate in Star Sovereign's fight against Heaven Sovereign, but I oppose it from the bottom of my heart. After all, Heaven Sovereign treated Star Sovereign well in the past. Feng Jingyang said. Jiang Chen nodded secretly. Feng Jingyang was just as he had imagined. If he was in the outside world, he would be a lone ranger with an independent character. Even the Sovereign Lord would not be able to force him to do things that he didn't want to do. Therefore, he would choose not to participate in the battle between Star Sovereign and Heaven Sovereign. In fact, there was nothing he could do about it. Feng Jingyang had already shown the greatest benevolence by not helping the Star Emperor. It was impossible for him to help the Sky Emperor at all costs. After all, Feng Jingyang was not a fool. As a neutral party, there was no reason for him to help someone who could not possibly win and even lose his life. If it was someone else, he would definitely help Star Sovereign. There was no doubt about it. From this aspect, Jiang Chen did not misjudge Feng Jingyang. Feng Jingyang was worthy of being roped in. If that was the case, he would lay his cards on the table for Feng Jingyang. After all, with Feng Jingyang's influence, it would be greatly beneficial if he could be roped in by Heaven Sovereign. His existence would greatly affect the hearts of others, especially those who had followed Heaven Sovereign and were treated well by him. Master, what would you do if I said that I have an unusual relationship with Heaven Sovereign, and that I came to the Fengqi Immortal Court to help Heaven Sovereign? Jiang Chen looked at Feng Jingyang and said in an extremely calm tone. After hearing Jiang Chen's words, Feng Jingyang's body visibly trembled, but he quickly recovered. Obviously, he had such a thought, but he did not expect it to be true. Now that it was said by Jiang Chen, there was no doubt about it. Jiang Chen, this matter is not a joke. Feng Jingyang's tone was solemn. Since I have laid my cards on the table today, I have nothing to hide. Nangong Wentian and I got to know each other in the Saint Origin world. I was also friends with old ancestor Green Lotus back then. That's why Green Lotus called me an old friend. Nan and I are brothers of life and death. I just didn't expect him to be the reincarnation of Heaven Sovereign. Now that my brother is in trouble, I, Jiang Chen, will not stand idly by even if I have to sacrifice myself. This is the reason why I came to the Fengqi Immortal Court. Chapter 2022. Feng Jingyang was extremely shocked. Even though he had prepared himself mentally, he was still shocked by Jiang Chen's words. He looked at Jiang Chen in shock and remained silent for a long time. He knew that Jiang Chen and Heaven Sovereign were related, but he didn't expect their relationship to be so deep. If that was the case, Feng Jingyang felt that his previous words of persuasion to Jiang Chen were completely useless. He knew that Jiang Chen was a person who valued friendship and would do anything for his brother. Moreover, he came to Fengqi Immortal Court with a purpose. While he was shocked, Feng Jingyang also felt extremely gratified. He was gratified that Jiang Chen didn't hide anything from him and told him such a big secret. It was enough to show that Jiang Chen had already treated him as one of his own. This was a form of absolute trust. One should know that if he told Star Sovereign about this, Jiang Chen's death would be waiting for him. However, Jiang Chen still told him calmly. Trust and honesty. Feng Jingyang felt that his sincerity wasn't wasted and that his judgment wasn't wrong. However, Feng Jingyang also knew that he had to make a choice because Jiang Chen was going to participate in the battle between Star Sovereign and Heaven Sovereign. As his master, he couldn't just stay out of it. Even the entire Dragon Hall couldn't stay out of it. He couldn't clean up Jiang Chen. However, if he didn't do it, Star Sovereign wouldn't let him go. It seemed that he had no other choice. But Jiang Chen, how are you going to fight against Star Sovereign? Feng Jingyang frowned. This was what he was worried about. After all, Heaven Sovereign wasn't the same as before. Star Sovereign was powerful and had almost controlled the entire Immortal Court. It was undoubtedly impossible to topple Star Sovereign. Heaven Sovereign already has a countermeasure. Heaven Sovereign already has a countermeasure. He has left the ancient elephant bloodline in the miniature Fengqi world. The reason I am going to the miniature Fengqi world this time is to help Heaven Sovereign find the ancient elephant bloodline. As long as the ancient elephant bloodline is found, Heaven Sovereign's cultivation base will recover to its peak state. Moreover, I have the help of Heavenly Peng Demon Sovereign, so Star Sovereign won't be that scary. Moreover, Heaven Sovereign is the Sovereign Lord. When he doesn't appear, everyone may follow Star Sovereign. However, as long as Heaven Sovereign stands out with strength that is not weaker than Star Sovereign, the hearts of those old men of the Immortal Court will be shaken, especially those who used to follow Heaven Sovereign. Jiang Chen said. Since he had already laid his cards on the table, he wouldn't hide anything from Feng Jingyang anymore. He told him all his secrets and plans. Feng Jingyang sighed. Then, He nodded secretly because Jiang Chen was right. Heaven's Sovereign had already left a backup plan. The ancient elephant bloodline was left in the miniature Xueqi world. Once Jiang Chen obtained it, his cultivation base would recover very quickly. Moreover, Jiang Chen also had a sworn brother, Tianpeng Evil Emperor. From the incident in East Xuanyu, Feng Jingyang could see that this Tianpeng Evil Emperor attached great importance to Jiang Chen. Moreover, he was very loyal. As long as Jiang Chen was in trouble, he would not hesitate to appear. He even dared to go against the three great immortal courts, let alone a mere star sovereign. Heaven's Sovereign and Tianpeng Evil Emperor were enough of a deterrent force. Feng Jingyang didn't even dare to imagine what kind of situation they would face once they clashed. I didn't expect the immortal court to be so calm on the surface. Your arrival is destined to set off a storm in the immortal court. Looks like I have to make a decision. Feng Jingyang couldn't remain calm at all. He needed some time to digest such an earth-shattering secret. I think Master has already made preparations, Jiang Chen said with a smile. You brat. Feng Jingyang glared at Jiang Chen. That's right. He had already made his choice. Or it could be said that he had no other choice. Unless he immediately took down Jiang Chen and handed him over to Star Sovereign. However, Feng Jingyang would never do that. He was a person who cherished talents. It was his pride to finally accept such a disciple. Moreover, Jiang Chen trusted him so much. How could he disappoint Jiang Chen? Moreover, the immortal court originally belonged to Heaven's Sovereign. Even if he chose Heaven's Sovereign, he would be defending the immortal court itself. So Master, when Star Sovereign mobilizes the higher-ups of the immortal court, you must be absolutely against it. The more vehemently you oppose, the more Star Sovereign will have misgivings. That way, you can buy some time for Heaven's Sovereign. After all, even if Heaven's Sovereign obtained the ancient elephant bloodline, he still needs time to refine and absorb it. Jiang Chen said. Yes, I don't need you to tell me this. Since I've made my choice, I naturally know what to do. However, before that, you better not get too close to Heaven's Sovereign to avoid unnecessary trouble. Perhaps no one would care about it in the past. After all, you were just an insignificant figure at that time. However, it's different now. Everyone knows that you and Tianpeng Evil Emperor have become sworn brothers. Your speed of improvement is also very fast. The immortal court will definitely pay a lot of attention to you. Feng Jingyang reminded Jiang Chen. Don't worry. I know what to do. Jiang Chen said with a smile. All right, go and get ready. The miniature Xueqi world will open the day after tomorrow. Feng Jingyang patted Jiang Chen's shoulder and turned to leave. Looking at Feng Jingyang's departing figure, Jiang Chen couldn't help but let out a long sigh. Today, he had successfully obtained Feng Jingyang's support and pulled Feng Jingyang and Dragon Hall to Heaven Sovereign's side. It was definitely a great thing. Feng Jingyang might not play a crucial role in the process of fighting against Star Sovereign, but his influence on the internal affairs of the Immortal Court was extremely great. After all, the Hall Master of Dragon Hall still held an unparalleled position in the Immortal Court. Late at night, a ghost-like figure appeared in the courtyard where Jiang Chen was staying. At this moment, Jiang Chen, who was sitting on a big green rock with his eyes closed, suddenly opened his eyes and saw Han Feng in black clothes appearing in front of him. Elder Han. Jiang Chen greeted. Brother Jiang Chen, Heaven's Sovereign really didn't misjudge you. The progress of your cultivation base is really astonishing. Han Feng was speechless when he saw that Jiang Chen's cultivation base had already reached the half-step sovereign realm. To him, this situation was pretty ridiculous. He still remembered the first time he met Jiang Chen in the Monarch Mountain. Jiang Chen was only a half-step immortal venerable. How long has it been since then? Jiang Chen had already become a half-step sovereign. Such a heaven-defying speed of advancement. How could anyone live in this world? Han Feng finally understood why Heaven's Sovereign had such a high evaluation of Jiang Chen. Now, not only did Jiang Chen's cultivation base improve rapidly, but he had also become sworn brothers with a peerless figure like Tianpeng Evil Emperor. It was hard for Han Feng not to admire Jiang Chen. Elder Han, did Heaven's Sovereign send you here? Chapter 2023. That's right. Heaven's Sovereign asked me to pass this talisman to you. Bring this talisman to the miniature Xueqi world and you'll be able to find what you're looking for. Han Feng took out a golden talisman. The talisman was about the size of a palm, and there was a picture engraved on it. The picture was not very clear, but if one looked closely, they could see that it was an ancient barbaric elephant. It raised its head to the sky and roared. "All right, tell Heaven's sovereign not to worry. I'll definitely bring it out for him." Jiang Chen took the talisman and kept it. He knew the importance of this talisman. Without this talisman, he wouldn't be able to find the ancient elephant bloodline even if he entered the miniature Xueqi world. The ancient elephant bloodline must have been hidden by Heaven's sovereign, otherwise, Star Sovereign would have found it after so many years. In other words, if Star Sovereign couldn't find it, Jiang Chen wouldn't be able to find it even if he went there. Hence, the importance of this talisman was obvious. "All right, I'll take my leave now." Han Feng cupped his fists at Jiang Chen and disappeared in a flash. "Looks like the real show is about to begin," De Huang Dog said with a smile. "We'll definitely help on and get back what belongs to him. From now on, Xueqi Immortal Court will be our base." Jiang Chen revealed a faint smile. He believed that Nangong Wentian had been waiting for this day for a long time. The third day. Early in the morning, the young genius disciples of the Immortal Court gathered on top of a mountain. No one lived on this mountain. It was a barren mountain. It was said to be the gateway to the miniature Xueqi world. At this moment, there were at least 2,000 disciples gathered on this mountain. There were naturally more genius disciples in the Immortal Court. However, entering the miniature Xueqi world was voluntary. Not everyone was willing to go. Some of them were not in the Immortal Court. There were also geniuses like Yu Huafan who were not interested in the miniature Xueqi world as it wasn't their first time entering the miniature Xueqi world. The genius disciples were divided into a few groups. Jiang Chen naturally stood with the people of the Dragon Hall. The disciples of the Dragon Pool were originally few in number, but they were more united. This time around, according to Feng Jingyang's arrangement, other than Yu Huafan, the others followed Jiang Chen into the miniature Xueqi world. Beside Jiang Chen, Hong Ying, Yu Feng, Duan Ren and the others were following him, but Jiang Chen stood at the center. From this, it could be seen that even though Jiang Chen was the latest to enter the Dragon Hall, his position was already very high. At least for this trip to the miniature Xueqi world, Yu Feng, Hong Ying and the others were willing to let Jiang Chen lead the team. On the Leopard Hall's side, the leader was a young man in black armor. He held a black sword in his hand. It looked like there was no blade, but if anyone thought that a sword without a blade would not have a powerful lethality, then they were absolutely wrong. The black-armored young man had an extremely strong cultivation base. He had already reached the second-grade Great Sovereign realm. Judging from his aura, he was only slightly weaker than Yu Huafan. His name is He Sha, the great senior brother of the Leopard Hall. His methods are extremely cruel. Just like the great senior brother, he has not participated in the miniature Xueqi world training for a few times. I didn't expect him to participate this time. Duan Ren said. Why do I feel that this guy has a purpose for participating in the miniature Xueqi world? Yu Feng frowned. Even an idiot can see it. Needless to say, the Leopard Hall must be brooding over the previous incident with Junior Jiang. That's why they let He Sha participate in the training in the miniature Xueqi world to kill Junior Jiang. The miniature Xueqi world has been open for 2 days and there are powerful demons inside. Every time someone dies inside, he must be using this opportunity to kill Junior Jiang. Shameless. Hong Ying said snappily. She was a straightforward person and hated the Leopard Hall's way of doing things the most. He better not provoke me. Jiang Chen said faintly. If it was in the past, he might still care about a person like He Sha. But now, he did not put He Sha in his eyes at all. It was fine if He Sha did not provoke him, but if he did, Jiang Chen would never be polite. Moreover, he did not have a good impression of the people from the Leopard Hall. The Hall Master of the Leopard Hall was definitely on the same side as Star Sovereign. Jiang Chen might have to fight them to the death. Great senior brother, that's Jiang Chen. He's been in the limelight recently and he even became sworn brothers with the Tianping evil emperor. One of the people from the Leopard Hall said softly and looked at Jiang Chen. He's just a half-step sovereign. What's there to be proud of? I will personally take action this time to make him stay in the miniature Xueqi world. Even if he became sworn brothers with the Tianping evil emperor, what's the use? He Sha said disdainfully and did not put Jiang Chen in his eyes at all. He Sha had the right to be arrogant. After all, he was a young second-grade great sovereign. Unfortunately, he had not seen Jiang Chen's means. Otherwise, he would not be standing here and saying such words. Jiang Chen met He Sha's gaze and a disdainful smile appeared at the corner of his mouth. All the disciples were waiting for the opening of the miniature Fengqi world. Not long after, a figure descended from the sky. The person was none other than Feng Jingyang. Feng Jingyang's arrival immediately silenced the scene. Feng Jingyang's position in the immortal court was very high. Hence, he was the one who came to open the miniature Fengqi world. A talisman appeared in Feng Jingyang's hand. The talisman did not look small and was branded with complicated runes. Violent energy rushed out from Feng Jingyang's body and poured into the talisman. For a moment, the talisman shone brightly and fused with the void, turning into an illusory door. Through the door, one could feel the gloomy aura coming from inside. Everyone, listen up. The miniature Fengqi world will only be open for 2 days. After 2 days, I will open the door again for 10 minutes. All of you must come out within 10 minutes. Otherwise, you will have to stay inside for half a year. There was once a disciple who did not listen to my advice and did not come out. He died tragically in the end. Feng Jingyang said loudly. All right, let's go in. Feng Jingyang waved his hand and the door rose to a height of 30 to 40 feet. Let's go. This time in the miniature Fengqi world, I must obtain great benefits and break through to the half-step sovereign realm. Someone was in high spirits and was the first to fly up and rush into the door. Immediately after, figures rushed into the door at an extremely fast speed. Soon, more than 1,000 people flew into the door and entered the miniature Fengqi world through the door. Junior Jiang, this door is only open for a limited time. Let's hurry up and go in. Hong Ying reminded. Jiang Chen and Feng Jingyang looked at each other and nodded secretly. Then, their bodies flashed and rushed into the door. Soon, all the disciples who participated in the trial had entered. Feng Jingyang waved his hand and the door turned back into a talisman and was kept by him. Whether you can succeed or not depends on you, Jiang Chen. Chapter 2024. Hoo-hoo. Within the miniature Fengqi world, strong winds were howling and there were violent hurricanes everywhere. Among them, there were many black winds and devil winds, giving people an extremely bad feeling. Anyone who entered this place couldn't help but feel a sense of pressure. The miniature Fengqi world itself was an incomparably cruel dimensional space. Just like the Golden Horizon, there should have been a great number of massacres here as there were many relics. Apart from that, there were also many demons and ghosts. In such a dark environment, demons and ghosts were very suitable to survive. Although the environment was harsh, those who entered this place were all geniuses of the immortal court. The lowest cultivation base among them was at least at the immortal venerable realm. When one reached the immortal venerable realm, no matter how harsh the environment was, it was nothing. In other words, the environment of the miniature Fengqi world didn't affect the geniuses of the immortal court at all. If they couldn't even overcome the environment here, then there was no need for them to enter. The miniature Fengqi world was a different dimension, and its area was still very large. The disciples that came in had already gone to different directions. Naturally, everyone did their own things when it came to searching for opportunities. Everyone wanted to keep the benefits for themselves after obtaining them. This was human nature. Jiang Chen. Not long after Jiang Chen and the people of Dragon Hall entered the miniature Fengqi world, they were stopped by a loud shout. Jiang Chen and the others saw a dozen people of Leopard Hall blocking their way. The one leading them was He Sha. It was also He Sha who shouted his name. He Sha, what are you doing now? Hong Ying said angrily. Hong Ying, it's not your fault. Jiang Chen once barged into my Leopard Hall alone, causing us to lose face. He even crippled Lu Jian. The entire immortal court knows that Lu Jian is my man. Crippling Lu Jian means that he didn't give me, He Sha, any face. Today, I will make him pay the price. He Sha said Lang Lang, looking as though he had completely dominated Jiang Chen. Price? I don't know what price you want me to pay. The corner of Jiang Chen's mouth revealed an indifferent smile. He really did not care about this black sand at all. However, looking at the other party's stance, he did not intend to have a proper chat with him today. Jiang Chen, if you know what's good for you, then cripple your own cultivation and become a cripple like Lu Jian. This way it'll be more fair, and it'll save me the trouble of killing you myself. Black Sand said loudly. Using the excuse of avenging Lu Jian, He wanted Jiang Chen to cripple his own cultivation. Hey Sha, don't go overboard. Our Dragon Hall has never done anything to anyone. Don't think that you can do whatever you want just because Big Brother isn't here. Hong Ying was infuriated. All along, it had always been the Dragon Hall bullying others. No one had ever dared to step on the Dragon Hall's neck and take a dump. Although black sand was powerful, it was the wrong idea to bully the Dragon Hall. Humph. Even if Yu Huafan comes, I'll still kill Jiang Chen. Don't forget, this is the miniature Fengqi world. Dying here would be in vain. He Sha snorted coldly. It was obvious that He Sha was determined to kill Jiang Chen. This was the reason why He Sha came to the miniature Fengqi world this time. Duan Ren wanted to speak but was stopped by Jiang Chen. Jiang Chen took 2 steps forward and said indifferently, He Sha, I'm not a sensible person. If you want to kill me to avenge Lu Jian, then do it yourself. But I have to remind you in advance that you better be mentally prepared. Because once you attack me, your ending will be worse than Lu Jian's. He Sha's expression changed. Haha, Jiang Chen, you're too arrogant. Since you want to fight me, then I'll fulfill your wish. He Sha laughed heartily. He did not put Jiang Chen in his eyes at all. From his point of view, no matter how powerful Jiang Chen was, he was only a half-step sovereign. With his second-grade great sovereign strength, killing a half-step sovereign was as easy as flipping his hand. Even if the opponent was a genius, wasn't he also a genius? Unfortunately, He Sha knew too little about Jiang Chen. He did not know what happened on the demonic immortal island. Without witnessing Jiang Chen's terror and means, he would not know fear. He also did not know that he was walking on the path of courting death. Come on then. Jiang Chen's body swayed and flew high into the sky. Explosive energy gushed out from his body. His body began to transform into his dragon form. You're courting death. He Sha's face was ruthless. He fully unleashed his second-grade great sovereign aura and came to the opposite of Jiang Chen. His black battle armor emitted a gloomy light and the aura emitted from his body was incomparably cold. It could be seen that this guy's cultivation method also belonged to the Yin attribute. Jiang Chen didn't care about this kind of person who had a special attribute. Just the attribute alone was enough to make the opponent unable to unleash his full power. In this way, the outcome of this battle could be imagined. As a matter of fact, Jiang Chen, who had advanced to the half-step sovereign realm, He Sha was not a match for Jiang Chen even without the suppression of attributes. From the moment Jiang Chen advanced to the half-step sovereign realm, the gap between the two had been completely widened. Moreover, Jiang Chen was still in his dragon form. This Jiang Chen is finished. Senior brother He Sha will definitely be able to kill him. That's for sure. Jiang Chen doesn't know the immensity of heaven and earth. He dared to challenge senior brother He Sha. This in itself is an act of courting death. After killing Jiang Chen, our Leopard Hall's reputation can be redeemed. We can also avenge Lu Jian. Let's see. I guess Jiang Chen won't last more than 3 moves from senior brother He Sha. The people of Leopard Hall were extremely confident in He Sha. Their faces were filled with sneers. This confidence originated from He Sha's strength, not Jiang Chen's weakness. Can junior brother Jiang do it? Someone from the Dragon Hall asked worriedly. Can he? Have you forgotten that when Jiang Chen first came to the Dragon Hall, he was able to fight me to a draw when he was only an intermediate immortal venerable. Now that he has advanced to the half-step sovereign realm, he's 2 levels higher than that. He's the most abnormal existence in our Dragon Hall. Not even big senior brother is a match for him. He Sha is courting death if he wants to kill junior brother Jiang. Yu Feng sneered without the slightest hint of worry. He had fought Jiang Chen before and knew how powerful Jiang Chen was. He had already concluded that He Sha would definitely die if he met Jiang Chen. That's right. He Sha is courting death. He can't blame anyone else. Hong Ying nodded. She wasn't worried about the battle between Jiang Chen and He Sha. Chapter 2025. He Sha's aura was incomparably strong, and his lethality was incomparably shocking. However, Jiang Chen shook his head. He Sha was a second-grade great sovereign, but there was still a small gap between him and Yu Huafan. Such combat strength was utterly vulnerable in front of Jiang Chen. With a wave of his hand, a fire dragon was conjured out of thin air. Roar! The fire dragon roared wildly, and terrifying waves of fire shot out from its body. The entire sky instantly turned into a vast sea of fire. This was the fire dragon seal that Jiang Chen casted. As the flames in his body increased, the power of the fire dragon seal grew stronger and stronger. It had completely surpassed the golden dragon seal, and could even be compared to the slaughter dragon seal. Especially when the opponent's attribute was Yin, which happened to be restrained, the power of the fire dragon seal would be amplified limitlessly, even surpassing the slaughter dragon seal. Hung Long. The terrifying fire dragon and Heisha's attack collided. Under the powerful impact of the fire dragon mark, Heisha's attack was as vulnerable as a rotten wood. It was completely destroyed in an instant. At the same time, the fire dragon exploded, turning into a sea of fire, and Heisha was covered in it. Arg! A shrill scream was heard from the sea of fire. Heisha had turned into a flaming man. The gap between him and Jiang Chen wasn't just a little bit. The Yin attribute energy became even more fragile after encountering Jiang Chen's flames. The move of the fire dragon seal had severely injured Heisha. Now that he was trapped in the sea of fire, he could only struggle violently. Amazing! Junior brother Jiang is a little too terrifying. My God! One move. Just one move. Heisha is no match for him. If Junior Jiang killed Heisha, Heisha would be a dead man by now. I've already said that Heisha is courting death by going against Junior Jiang. After advancing to the half-step sovereign realm, Junior Jiang is already the #1 genius of our immortal court. Even big senior brother Yu Huafan is no match for him. Everyone in the Dragon Hall was shocked. In addition to shock, there was also a strong sense of excitement. After all, the stronger Jiang Chen was, the happier they were. No matter what, Jiang Chen represented the Dragon Hall. However, compared to the excitement on the Dragon Hall side, the people on the Leopard Hall side were tragic. Each of them looked at Black Sand, who was constantly struggling and screaming in the sea of fire. Their expressions were extremely ugly. How could this be? How can this Jiang Chen be so powerful? He's just a half-step sovereign while Senior Heisha is already a second-grade great sovereign. They're not on the same level at all. Stop talking. A person like Jiang Chen can no longer be judged by common sense. Including senior brother Heisha, we have all underestimated Jiang Chen. This guy has grown to an undefeatable level. I hope he doesn't kill senior brother Heisha directly. Otherwise, our Leopard Hall will suffer a serious loss. The people of the Leopard Hall weren't fools. Jiang Chen almost killed Heisha with a single move. This had made them realize how terrifying Jiang Chen was. They saw it clearly. It was a real collision without any fancy moves. There was no luck involved at all. After struggling for a while, Heisha finally broke free from the sea of fire and extinguished the flames on his body. At this moment, Heisha was in an extremely sorry state. His whole body was scorched and he had completely turned into a black man. It should be said that he was charcoal. His aura was extremely weak, which showed how serious his injuries were. This was Heisha. If it was an ordinary person, he would have died in the sea of fire and not even ashes would be left. Heisha, I won't kill you today, but there won't be a next time. You should understand the logic of the winner taking all. If you see me in the future, stay far away from me. Otherwise, the next time will be the day you die. After I kill you, no one can do anything to me, Jiang Chen. Jiang Chen stopped his dragon transformation and said to Heisha condescendingly. It was a serious form of contempt, but it made Heisha unable to even get angry. Under the absolute suppression of strength, other than fear, all he could feel was submission. Just as Jiang Chen had said, the winner takes all and the loser takes all. This was an unchanging truth and Heisha understood it. His original intention was to kill Jiang Chen. Now that he had been defeated by Jiang Chen and Jiang Chen had spared his life, what else could Heisha say? Let's go. Jiang Chen waved his hand at Hong Ying and the others and flew away. This was the first interlude in the miniature Fengqi world and also the first meaningful battle after Jiang Chen advanced to the half-step sovereign realm. He defeated his opponent in a crushing manner. This battle would completely establish Jiang Chen's position in the younger generation of the immortal court. No one would dare to compete with him for the title of the #1 genius. On a barren hill 100 miles away, the people of the Dragon Hall landed. Junior Jiang, the miniature Fengqi world is very big. The place we are at now should be at the border. There are no opportunities here and even demons and ghosts are rare. Hong Ying said. At this moment, Everyone had subconsciously treated Jiang Chen as their backbone and leader. Senior sister Hong Ying, I think we should split up from here and look for our own opportunities. If everyone were to gather together, many people's luck would be concealed and lose the meaning of training. Jiang Chen said. Junior Jiang is right. Let's split up from here and look for our own opportunities and benefits. But don't forget to gather here 2 days later. Master will reopen the gate of the miniature Fengqi world. Yu Feng said. After that, everyone went their separate ways and went in different directions. Everyone in the Dragon Hall was the best of the best, the best of the best. Every one of them could hold their own in the miniature Fengqi world. Feng Jingyang's sunshine was never wrong. To Jiang Chen, he had to send everyone away because he came with a mission. Only when he was alone could he use the talisman to search for the ancient elephant bloodline. Searching for the ancient elephant bloodline was the most important thing in the miniature Fengqi world, and also the most important thing for Jiang Chen to do in the Fengqi Immortal Court. All the training had to be thrown to the back of his mind. Nothing was more important than the ancient elephant bloodline. Who is it? Just as Jiang Chen was about to take out the talisman, the space not far away from him suddenly trembled. Jiang Chen immediately turned his gaze towards the direction of the talisman. In this kind of strange space, slight spatial trembles were everywhere and were very normal. However, the tremble just now was not normal. Jiang Chen's perception was very sharp. His intuition told him that there must be something in the dark. Moreover, the slight tremble just now made Jiang Chen feel uneasy. This made Jiang Chen to be serious. Chapter 2026. Jiang Chen had never doubted his senses. The Great Soul Derivation technique had never been wrong. If it was just an ordinary spatial tremor, he would never have felt any change in his emotions. Swoosh! Jiang Chen's body swayed and came to the place where the spatial tremor was. Terrifying soul power gushed out of his body like a tide, constantly sweeping the void around, but he found nothing. However, Jiang Chen absolutely did not believe that it was just a momentary spiritual coincidence. He was never suspicious. There must be someone in the dark, and in that instant, the person was obviously paying attention to him. Jiang Chen had no choice but to take this matter to heart, because He Sha was the one with the highest cultivation among those who entered the miniature Fengqi world this time. Someone like He Sha could not pose any threat to him, and it was even more impossible for him to observe him in the dark without being noticed. Jiang Chen did not give up and continued to search for the mysterious existence in the dark, but he still failed in the end. It was as if the ripple just now was just a ripple that he was searching for, but Jiang Chen was just being suspicious. Since he could not find it, and since the other party was not willing to show up, Jiang Chen did not waste any more time here. However, this matter was something that he had to pay attention to. Whoosh! Subsequently, Jiang Chen unleashed the 5 elemental domain. The 5 elemental domains surrounded him, isolating him from the outside world. With the isolation of the 5 elemental domain, even if a 5th-grade great sovereign wanted to investigate Jiang Chen's situation in the domain, he would definitely be detected by Jiang Chen. Jiang Chen flipped his palm, and a spiritual talisman appeared in his hand. This was the spiritual talisman that Heaven's Sovereign asked Han Feng to pass to him. Whether or not he could find the ancient elephant bloodline depended on this spiritual talisman. Buzz buzz. A divine sense was instilled into the spiritual talisman by Jiang Chen. The spiritual talisman suddenly jumped violently in Jiang Chen's hand, emitting a buzzing sound. Then, the talisman seemed to come to life. The ancient picture on it disappeared and a red line appeared. The line was like a swimming fish. It kept spinning on the talisman at a very fast speed. Jiang Chen knew that the talisman was searching for traces of the ancient elephant bloodline. The red line on it was used to find the direction. A minute later, the red line stopped in one direction. Without any hesitation, Jiang Chen quickly flew in the direction indicated by the red line. Jiang Chen's speed was extremely fast. The barren mountains below him constantly flitted past, and with every step he took, he would shrink the ground to an inch. Roar! Suddenly, an earth-shattering roar sounded in front of him. A black wave of qi appeared out of thin air, and a huge black hole appeared 300 feet in front of Jiang Chen. However, if one looked closely, it was not difficult to find that it was not a black hole at all, but the big mouth of a demon. The miniature Fengqi world was full of demons and demons. The demon that appeared in front of him already had the cultivation of a first-grade great sovereign. After noticing the appearance of a half-step great sovereign, it immediately launched an attack. It opened its bloody mouth and wanted to swallow the human in one bite. It was a pity that the demon was too unlucky to have run into Jiang Chen, an extremely perverse fellow. Facing the huge mouth of the demon, Jiang Chen did not even slow down his speed. The heavenly saint's sword appeared in his hand, and he crashed into the demon's mouth like a meteor. Bang! Jiang Chen's strike smashed the demonic devil's head into pieces. He rushed out from the demonic devil's back. The demonic devil let out a blood-curdling screech as its head exploded into pieces. Then, Jiang Chen took out the Zulong Tower on the spot, regardless of what kind of demon it was. A hole was torn open on the Zulong Tower, and a terrifying devouring power gushed out like a tidal wave. The 100-meter-tall behemoth was completely swallowed by the Zulong Tower in the blink of an eye. To Jiang Chen, the demons here were absolute nourishment. A first-grade Great Sovereign Demonic Demon allowed Jiang Chen to condense half of the dragon marks on the 58th floor of the Zulong Tower. Not only that, Jiang Chen also condensed 10,000 new dragon marks, increasing the number of dragon marks in his body to 1,660,000, one step closer to becoming a true Great Sovereign. He only needed to condense another 40,000 dragon marks to reach 1,700,000, and Jiang Chen's cultivation could directly break through to become a true Great Sovereign. Looks like I need to set a new goal for this trip to the miniature Xueqi world. The corner of Jiang Chen's mouth revealed a trace of a smile. His ultimate goal in coming to the miniature Xueqi world was the ancient elephant bloodline. Now, he needed to make use of the environment of the miniature Xueqi world to help himself break through to the Great Sovereign Realm. As long as he broke through to the Great Sovereign Realm, Jiang Chen would be considered to have advanced to a truly high level. Moreover, according to Jiang Chen's plan, he would attract an extremely terrifying heavenly tribulation when he broke through to the Great Sovereign Realm. Ever since Jiang Chen advanced to the immortal venerable realm to the half-step sovereign realm, he did not attract any heavenly tribulation. This itself was very unusual. Jiang Chen could sense that there would definitely be a heavenly tribulation when he broke through to the Great Sovereign Realm, and the power of the heavenly tribulation would be unimaginably terrifying. As the saying goes, good preparation is the key to success. This time, the heavenly tribulation would also be well prepared. The heavenly tribulations of the immortal venerables and half-step sovereigns would be integrated together with the Great Sovereign Realm. Jiang Chen couldn't imagine to what extent he couldn't control the legendary terrifying sovereign tribulation, but Jiang Chen would absolutely not be afraid of it. Jiang Chen was very experienced in crossing tribulations. Moreover, Jiang Chen had already developed a strong immunity towards the heavenly tribulation. Moreover, with the powerful cheating tool of the Zulong Tower, no matter how powerful the heavenly tribulation was, it wouldn't be a problem for him. Moreover, under the impact of the heavenly tribulation, Jiang Chen's cultivation would directly break through to the second-grade Great Sovereign Realm, and would no longer linger around the first-grade Great Sovereign Realm. After killing a demon with ease, Jiang Chen continued to advance towards the direction indicated by the spiritual talisman. After flying for about half an hour, Jiang Chen entered a mountainous region. Such sovereign domain was everywhere in the miniature Xueqi world, and no one would notice it at all. According to the instructions on the spiritual talisman, the ancient elephant bloodline is hidden in front. Jiang Chen's eyes lit up as he looked ahead. There was a huge valley in front of him. The valley was filled with dense yin qi. Even though he was far away, he could still feel the coldness from within. Without any hesitation, Jiang Chen flew towards the valley. No matter how harsh the environment was, it wouldn't affect Jiang Chen. Very soon, Jiang Chen arrived above the valley. The whole valley was filled with dense yin qi, and the yin qi was rolling back and forth. The environment was extremely harsh. The yin qi here is really powerful. It has a strong corrosive effect. Once it enters a person's body, even the immortal qi will be corroded. However, these things don't affect me at all. Instead, they can be absorbed by the Zulong Tower. If the entire sea of yin qi in the Zulong Tower is completely absorbed, it can directly condense the 59th level. Jiang Chen thought. For the fastest and error-free novel reading, please visit You're tuning in to the Xueqi's Martial Arts Saga YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.